What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back with another video. And happy WrestleMania to you all right now on Holy Friday. Yeah, I never thought that WrestleMania would be on the same day as Easter Sunday, but it is. But yeah, this is the Friday Night SmackDown. Well, the WrestleMania edition because this is the go home show. Just the 1 day away from the biggest showcase of the year, and that is the Showcase of the Immortals WrestleMania. We're up to close out the final weekly televised WWE show just 24 hours before the WrestleMania weekend fully start, and I'd say it was probably I'd say bittersweet, or should I say short and sweet, whatever term to put it, for tonight's edition of Friday Night SmackDown. I'll say it. With one match, kind of changed my mind. From one match, I was thinking that I think one wrestler's gonna predict the win, but I think it ends up changing my mind. We also got the John Cena segment between John Cena segment between him and Rhodes. John Cena segment turned into a face to face segment. That's what I meant to say. And we also got one match turned into changed into a different type of match, and we also got the WWE Tag Team Championship match. Was I'll say, let's say, it didn't end up the way that where we thought it was going to end up being. So it's going to be scheduled to be in a rematch, and unfortunately, it won't be at WrestleMania. And also, we got some. We also heard Randy Orton will set up an open challenge for WrestleMania Night 2. But unfortunately, we do not know who it is. But I'm going to venture who it might be on my prediction segment that I'm going to be doing on the post review, and plus much more. Done? Not yet. I just got started, Trey.
No, I don't want your food.
Oh. Yeah, I just got done with my food for dinner.
So you can watch.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Birdie Bird. Appreciate that. I owe you big time. But anyways, this is where we got the Motor City Machine Guns, then getting into the arena, same with the Street Profits, and also Cody Rhodes has gotten to the building. And we also we saw somebody getting out of a Cadillac vehicle, which was what's it called, the Escalade, of course, which was Soul Takoa and Tama Tonga coming out. But it's where Tama Tonga forgot Jacob Fatu. But it's where LA Knight came in and then taxed Tama Tonga by giving him a taste of his own medicine, and then smashed his arm right into this other car that was parked beside the one Solo and Tama came out. But this is where LA Knight then went to the opposite direction outside the building. But this is where Solo Sikoa tried to stop him, but it was too late. But this is where we got Seth Rollins coming out, to send two of his opponents a message before their main event showdown. Then 24 hours from now, this is where Seth Rollins came out. This is where then we got really. Oh, I hope you're having fun there, and hopefully that you are having a wonderful week, Easter and WrestleMania weekend. But anyways, this is where we got Seth Rollins got in the microphone. This is where he said hello to the Sin City crowd. And he called himself a visionary and a revolutionary. And this is where he said his catchphrase along with his name, saying Seth and freaking Rollins. Oh, thank you so much, Birdie Bird. But anyways, this is where we got the WrestleMania song. That's where the fans start singing along his song, he sat down in a very familiar manner because it looks similar to something that his arch rival Chick Magnet Punk used to do. Especially when he cut that infamous pipe bomb promo. That's where Seth Rollins is like, okay, this is much better. And then this is where then he got to cut to the chase. And I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if these promos that he's about to be cutting are unscripted. And this is where fans start chanting OTC. This is where Seth Rollins is like, yeah, that's what I'm just getting to. That's where Seth Rollins start talking. As soon as they stop chanting his arch rivals' nicknames and names, which is OTC Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And this is what. And this is where he's like, yeah, like just like he burned this bridge, like he burned the bridges outside of this territory, which that's a clear reference to his time in the other place that he got into it. Just because it's like just like that young guy that said, "Go cry me a river," or whatever he said. Yeah. This was like, and yeah, he finally came back home to WWE. That's what Seth Rollins did. He's like, after 10 wrong years, and it's not because of you were chanting his name. Like, no, absolutely not. And then it's where then, it was like they wrote him, wrote him another check, like big fat check. Let me phrase that. That's what he said. Like in order to beg him to come back. Oh, tell him I said what's up right back in him, and tell him that they are awesome as ever. And hopefully they're joining this edition of the SNA podcast. But anyways, this is where we got several continues like yeah, CM Punk likes to pretend like, and this is where then fans start chanting. What was it? They were chanting something, but this is where Seth Rollins then responded back with a very, I'll say, unexpected, enthusiastic manner, saying, like, "Tell me if I'm telling lies." This is where it was a mixed reaction for that, like, but he did have a point, like when he stated facts about his arch rival. This is where, but except for the fact that saying that CM Punk didn't really came back for all of them. This is where he's like yeah, you couldn't put together. Like, let me tell you a sad reality. Like, CM Punk doesn't care about each and every one of all of you. Like, he is a liar and a fraud. Like, he's a coward. Like. And this is where then he started going down the list. This is where then Seth Rollins then and they're like, and say what the heck you will, like about Roman Reigns, like or he's your OTC. Let me rephrase that. And this is where, and after he corrected himself, this is where the fan was replying to his chant. I mean, him saying OTC. And this is like Mr. Handpick opponent Roman Reigns, like, and this is where then he stop himself like from saying finish his sentence. This word and the fans are chanting Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Like if he's his own version of Cody Rhodes, which he kind of is at this time, like of being a fan favorite. But anyway, where we are. Seth Rollins continues to speak. He's like, yeah, he loves it when you love him, guys. And then Seth Rollins then said, like, Romans don't know nothing about sacrifices, and nor does CM Punk. Like, they don't even know the definition of that term. And this where then Seth Rollins, if anybody knows everything that's about sacrifice, even the what's it called, the whole entire leader of it, like it's definitely me. And then this is where then the fans then start cheering for the visionary, which he's basically have done it for the last 10 years. But this was several like let's face it, guys, like but the story between me and Roman Reigns and CM Punk, like it started exactly 12 years ago. As a matter of fact, it started with Paul Heyman. Is where then we got mostly cheers, which he's like, that's the truth, which that was. Like this is where then he pointed out that he, like when he was the manager the first time for CM Punk, he brought in the guys of him, Roman, and even Dean Ambrose, which that's very shocking. He said a name mentioned him, considering he's now in the other company as a world champion there, which I always talk about that he's been toxically brainwashed by his own water line in his hometown. But this is where he's like, and this is where things got worse when everybody started paying main attention to Roman. He's like, put the spotlight on Roman Reigns, like make Roman Reigns look good and blah blah. Like how CM Punk said, like in those interviews, say like when the previous management try to make him like. I tell him like saying like you gotta make Roman look very tough. Like you can do whatever you want, but you have to make him look strong. Like, but anyways, it's where we got Seth Rollins like, and Again, CM Punk. This is where fans are chanting CM Punk again before he can even finish his sentence. This is where the yeah. And this where then he said, in this where then Seth Rollins then point out who's the reason why Roman Reigns is no longer the champion from 365 days ago. This is where he was like, I was hanging by a strap in my strip. I was hanging by a thread on my knee, and then he's like, and I am the step that. Yeah, I would love to meet him. As a matter of fact, I got the chance to see him in attendance, like when I was when me and my brother and sister-in-law and uncle went to see him over at in a probably in just a 20-minute away from where in my area is. It was what's it called, a live event house show, which it was called Sunday Night Stunner. He wrestled Matt Riddle in the main event of that night. This when he was the United States champion at the time, and he was in a rivalry with the original Bro. So I'll say that's the only closest I got a chance to see Seth Rollins in person. But anyways, this is where we got Seth Rollins to continue to speaking on the mic. He's like, CM Punk is cancer here, and he's like, and he's like, no, what I'm talking about, I'm talking about him, what I'm talking about now, but he's like, CM Punk is not the only cancer, which, Roman Reigns is probably the second cancer, and he was like, and this is where he's like, speaking of cancer, my stepfather was fighting for his life at this time, of trying to battle cancer, and I still made it here to work. I fought I fought Roman Reigns and The Rock and his cousin The Rock, I should say, in a tag team match with Cody Rhodes, and then at night 2, I opened the show by still defending my World Heavyweight Championship, and at the main event, I stopped Roman Reigns from retaining his championship and made him lost because he was too busy worrying about me. This is where then Seth Rollins then continue on to his promo, stating, he's now the reason for his downfalls, and he's gonna make sure he's gonna end him, and not only him but also Punk on top of it, as well. This is where fans start singing along his songs. This is where then we got Seth Rollins this where. And this is what and I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, in Sin City, in this most important triple threat match in the history of this industry of professional wrestling, this is where he's like, and I promise you, I will do exactly like I would have done, from the past 12 years. He's like, I will lay it all on the line. He's like, and I will absolutely sacrifice every single thing that I have, to make sure that this business does not crumble apart and this whole entire industry and move forward. And it's they'll be heading into the right direction. And then this where then Seth Rollins gave a very hilarious grin, which that should which this should definitely be a golden trophy of the Goofy Wrestling of the Night, by the way. There's what Seth Rollins said. That's not no prediction. That's a spoiler with him getting a big grin, which that's definitely a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe on what's to come, perhaps, because there's some rumors have been speculating that Paul Heyman could just shock both his two besties of Punk and Reigns that's trying to fight over him as their wise man. There's been some shocking rumors about it could be Seth Rollins that could help to beat both Punk and Reigns, and then he could be Rollins' wise man. And do you think that could be a possibility at the end of night 1's showcase event? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But look where Seth Rollins been. The most ugliest and hilarious grin in all of pro wrestling, which it was very hilarious, of course. But oh really? I'm glad to meet meet him. That would be a dream to meet a mascot of the best football team in the NFL. But anyways, But what are your thoughts on the? And then this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna ask you, assassinators. Like, who do you think's gonna win? Like between these three, between Rollins, Punk, and Reigns. Let me know in the comments. But I still think it's probably not gonna be Rollins, given that like this adds more leverage into it because like he was standing up tall over Rollins and over Punk and Reigns. Like when he hit the curb stomp on both of them, and then and also he got and also Seth Rollins putting the icing on the cake, kind of teasing some speculation on what's to come. Maybe we could see something happen at the last minute, however, but we're gonna talk about that in the prediction segment in just a moment. But besides that, that's where we got the next slide, which is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which they start advertising the 11 years of existence, which would start off with Ray Phoenix coming out, and then eventually like Shinsuke Nakamura, and then others and you will not believe who exactly won the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You would have thought it would probably be like a mid-card jobber. Well, you'd be terribly mistaken. I was like, maybe this wrestler is a jobber. Not jobber, a mid-carder, not a jobber. What am I even talking about right now? Hopefully he doesn't slap the taste out of my mouth for saying that, by referring to something that's lower graded, the most the awful, the most awful thing that you could be referred as in professional wrestling. But anyways, this is where you got the match started with everybody trying to go eliminate one another. This is where I believe the first elimination was what was when Tyler Bateman hits a stop sign right hand punch right onto what's his name to Grayson Waller or somebody, or no, it was Ludwig Kaiser, and this is where we got Tyler Bateman started trying to eliminate A-Town Down Under, only for Ludwig Kaiser to eliminate him out of the match. This is where the Ludwig Kaiser, I threw you out. This is where Pete Dunne's like nobody don't do that to my best friend, and this is where he then tried to defend his what's it called what's that New Catch Republic partner. This is where then we got him trying to run behind the ring, but Kaiser just won't go over the top rope. He was just hanging on for dear life. This is where then we end up seeing what's his name? Pete Dunne trying to go to the right corner slide, trying to get him to be a distraction, distract him. This is where we got everybody was trying to eliminate the other, but just keep getting elbow strike. But I believe the one that was what they called the hometown hero of the night, was none other than what's his name? Karrion Kross. Unless if there's anybody else that was in the match, I'm forgetting that's from Las Vegas. But since Karrion Kross is from the Sin City, I'll give a shout out to him. And too bad it wasn't this guy. Maybe it would have helped benefit him of getting on to the right directions in his WWE run. And also, I'll say, given that it's in his hometown, that would have definitely been a spark of a rub. But that's where we got Santos Escobar hit the bicycle knee strike right into the jaw of Andrade. Then he tried to pick up what's that, Ray Phoenix. This is where he's like, he loves his lucha abilities, but he has to win this. This is where he's like, but we're gonna worry about that later when it's only just the two of us. How about we eliminate Andrade together and not him trying to ruin the tradition of lucha libre? But it's where then once he had his back turned when he tried to pick up Andrade, he ends up getting thrown by Phoenix right over the top rope and got eliminated. This is where then what's his name felt heartbroken and betrayed Mr. Escobar. He was like, you did not do that. And this is where I believe he's going to try to seek some revenge on Oh, really? Yeah, I apologize for saying such naughty bad words. It's just that it's something what a wrestler would say or what a wrestling fans would chant. Not trying to say I want to copy everything that they do. It's just that they make it more accurate. The reason why I would say that, of course, but yeah, it's very funny the way I would say it. Though at the same time, but yeah. But yeah, well, anyways, this is where we got Otis then ends up double clotheslining. What's his name? What's their names? The Creed brothers. After using Kira Tozawa like a helicopter on him. But the sad thing is, Otis accidentally flipped himself over along with the Creed brothers. I'm like, I'll be darned. I guess it's kind of like a rookie mistake, even though he's been into the business for like a good 6-7 years now. But yeah, this was an unfortunate mishap. But this is where we got. That's where we got saw Dragon Lee trying to eliminate Chad Gable out, but this is where we started hitting some right hands right into the face. This is where we got. This is where we got. What was it? It was. This is where we got the LWO. Joaquin Wild Cruz del Toro was helping out. What's his name? Ray Phoenix is where he did some pretty cool springboard roundhouse kicks right to the bottom right side. Then he ends up eliminating him, and only for Shinsuke Nakamura to attack Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild from behind. And this is where then we got Joaquin Wild then try to prevent Shinsuke Nakamura from eliminating him. This is where then he with a step up into gear, made him fly in the air, where just oversell. I guess they found the new Ricochet in AEW. I mean the WWE, not WWE. What I'm talking about? They found the new Ricochet of WWE. Let me rephrase that, because when he oversells the mover, he highly does so, like, and I mean that literally and figuratively. But this is where we got Cruz del Toro ends up trying to throw what's his name, Shinsuke Nakamura right into the upper right corner. So this is where Cruz del Toro got countered. This is where he ends up in a step up into gear, only for him to get knocked down right out of the ring by Karrion Kross, the hometown hero, or not the villain, more likely the hometown villain. This is where the Karrion Kross said he's using you to Dragon Lee. Little Dragon Lee's like don't be trying to brainwash my boys. And this is where Karrion Kross like, you don't tell me what to do because you're not my parent, you're not my father. Like, I'm gonna beat you like if I'm yours. And this is where then he did so by hitting an elbow strike right into the face. This is where then we got what's his name, Dragon Lee ends up eliminating Karrion Kross. Like once he started fighting back, this is where he eliminated. This is where Karrion Kross got pissed off. He was like you like. This is where he's like you freaking. I'll say, but this is where you got a very pissed off look, like where he's like you freaking menace. Like this is where then Shinsuke Nakamura was right behind Dragon Lee. This is where Karrion Kross started laughing, like when he did so because he knew he eliminated him. Only for Dragon Lee to start fighting back in an insecurity kick and go for a side flipping Hurricane Rana. Then send it right to the bottom right corner. So it's a Dragon Lee like, come on, you gotta do. This is where he tried to go for the drop kick, only to get hit with a King Chaza right into the face. Then we got Nakamura that ends up back suplexing him right onto the outside. He ends up being eliminated. This is where then we got Ludwig Kaiser then ends up trying to hang on to Pete Dunne's hair when he was trying to flip him right over on the outside. This is where he ends up grabbing on his hair. This is where he brought him into the left side apron. This is where he start fighting to survive. Like, and this is where Pete Dunne start winning by kicking him in the midsection and to the knees of the right hand man of Gunther. This is where he hits a double foot stomp onto the fingers of Ludwig Kaiser, then hit a pump boot right to his face. He was like, my fingers. And then this is where Pete Dunne's like, that's too bad. Like, you shouldn't have been trying to take some extreme drastic measures. But this is where Ludwig Kaiser kicks him right in the face when they both got back in the ring. But Ludwig Kaiser kicked him when he was like halfway into the ring, but still in the ropes. This is where we got Ludwig Kaiser. Thought he had an easy way to eliminate Pete Dunne, but only for him to grab him or wrap his legs around Ludwig Kaiser, then go for a triangle choke onto Kaiser. This is where he Hurricane Rollins him out of the ring, eliminating him. This is where he looks devastated, and I'm like, hopefully his lady friend doesn't feel the same way on night one's showcase event, if you know what I mean. If you catch my drift, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you're not a 6-year-old, of course. But anyways, this is where we got Pete Dunne nearly eliminate Carmelo Hayes until his latest tag partner helped him out, like of staying in the match. Maybe he's probably thanking the Miz like about 1 trillion times for that. Anyways, yeah, this is where then we got from that save. This is where then Pete Dunne hit a forearm strike on the Miz. Then he tried to do the same with Carmelo Hayes, only for him to grab onto his left arm but prevent him to. But he sacrificed him by getting his fingers bent. Like, this is where it's like, And this is where Pete Dunne tried to hit a forearm strike. I was surprised that Carmelo Hayes was hanging on dear life, like when he was in the ring. This is where Pete Dunne then ends up like hit the middle drop kick on the Miz when the Miz sacrificed his spot of winning Andre Giant Battle Royal to throw Mello back in the ring. This is where then we got. This is where the Mello then tried to close on Pete Dunne out of the ring. This is where we got. This is where Carmelo Hayes then caught his leg. This is where Pete Dunne tried to go for an Enziguri flip and it kicked him right in the head, but Carmelo Hayes ducked with pure luck and flipped Pete Dunne out of the ring. This is where Carmelo Hayes couldn't even believe it. He was like, did I just really just do that? And then this is where we got the last four in the ring. It was Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Ray Phoenix. And this is where that's why I started speculating, like, who can it possibly be that's gonna win this whole thing of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Even though it's kind of yeah, let's just say, but not really want to talk much about that though. But it's very hilarious if you hear him. But anyways, this is where we got this is where I was wondering like who's gonna win, even though it's starting to be a little irrelevant. But since it's in a new regime, I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance of the Andre Giant Memorial Battle, even though I think they should bring it back on WrestleMania to give like the guys and gals that do like a men's and women's version of the Battle Royal a chance to what's that called? To get them on TV and have a match, like so they won't be left in the dark for the biggest showcase of the year. Oh, good. Like, how was it? But it's where we got Shinsuke Nakamura that ends up getting most of the offense and hitting some strikes on the what's his name to Carmelo Hayes. And then Ray Phoenix, he goes for a back suplex on. This is where we got Andrade try to go for the camouflage boot to the elbow. But Shinsuke Nakamura surprisingly dodges out of the way. He's been doing his homework for sure. This is where he hits what they call a wheel kick right into the head. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura goes for a Kinshasa, only for Andrade to move right out of the way. Then we got the former NXT champion and United States champion. Then ends up getting intercepted with a super kick right in his face. But once Shinsuke Nakamura got on the middle rope, try to hit the mid rope Kinshasa, he ends up getting dropped kick by Andrade on the outside, and he got eliminated. This is where then Andrade's like, like I knew I was gonna get you out of this match, which he did. And there was only three men now. One, it was Carmelo Hayes, it was Andrade, and Ray Phoenix. Well, until Carmelo Hayes had a super kick onto Ray Phoenix, and this is where he went to the middle ropes. However, again over the top rope. That's the rules of battle royals. Like, what if it's Royal Rumbles or Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal? But this is where we got. This is where Carmelo Hayes tried to go for what's that called, springboard flip into what's that called? A springboard right into a crossbody, but this one Andrade nearly intercepted into like a moonsault like Russian leg sweep springboard majiggy maneuver, only for Ray Phoenix to push both of them. This is where he nearly won the Battle Royal with both Mello and Andrade barely hang on for dear life. And this is where Carmelo Hayes then attacks Ray Phoenix from behind. This is where then he was like, yeah, you still didn't got me eliminated. This is where then this is where we got the former NXT champion throws him right into the left side. But this is where what's the name, Ray Phoenix, and goes for what's it called? Ice cream sounds very delicious right about now. I'm happy for you. You have lots of fun at your dance tonight, sir. And but anyway, this is where we got Ray Phoenix and go for Hurricane Rana. This is where we got Carmelo Hayes throws Ray Phoenix right in the left side, but only for him to catch the middle rope, hit the roundhouse kick. Then we got Ray Phoenix like, all right, let's do it. Let's win this. This is where Ray Phoenix rolls, flips, goes for a forearm strike right to the face in the upper left side. This is where Andrade was located. This is where he tried to do the same with what's his name to Carmelo Hayes, but he ends up flipping him right over in the bottom corner side. This is where Ray Phoenix hit him right in the midsection. And this is where they both close on each other until Ray Phoenix was more stronger because he had more strength in him than Mello did. But this is where we got Ray Phoenix we're trying to go for his, what's that called? Goodbye amigo kick, only for you will not believe who came out there to help out Mello, and that was none other than congratulations. Yeah, I hope we all had a very wonderful time. A really great night. But anyway, this is where then we got it was El Grande Americano, then ends up grabbing onto the ropes. This is where then he And this is where he just drags him out of the ring and slams him back first in the apron, makes him be eliminated. This is where they say, "Gracias!" And then this is where this won't be the last time we'll see any, well, at least Ray Phoenix, of course. But this is where then we got Andrade's like, okay, so it's just you and me. And I wish you the very best of luck on to that. Yeah, like, I believe in you. Like, yeah, I'm your number one supporter, man. Like onto everything like that, and the other things that you have, any kind of goals that you have in life. Like, I hope you achieve them. But anyways, this is where we got Andrade and what's his name, Carmelo Hayes, that were face to face with these were the last two men in the match. This is where they both like. I guess it's you and me again. Like, and yeah, like their 7 best series were very phenomenal, except for their last 7th match, right? Which I think that it should have ended with one of them winning and then earning himself a shot at the United States Championship against LA Knight when his first reign back last year. But I guess they were not trying to have the other one, whoever lost, like be lost in the shuffle, because that's what it was kind of going to look like if one lost. Like, which I think they could have elevated them like in some capacity, but still kept their gimmick relevant. But anyways, this is where then we got Andrade. This is where they try to go over their shots on each other, but this is where they dodge out of each other. This is where then Andrade try to go for this double underhook spinning neckbreaker majiggy. This is where then we got Carmelo Hayes that ends up going for a flying head scissor face buster maneuver, only for Andrade to counter into like a suplex that looked like you're about to hit the Three Amigos, but it seemed like these days he cannot successfully hit one, unlike a couple of wrestlers that I know, which one of them happens to be in WWE, but that one's not going to wrestle until WrestleMania Night 2, which the other wrestler I might have talked about just the other day. But anyways, it's where we got Andrade that ends up clotheslining Carmelo Hayes when he comes to the top corner slide, thinking he's going to get him. But it's where then he goes for the bottom corner. Like, once he didn't bring him down, it's where they double clothesline each other, but they still standing. It's where then Carmelo Hayes went to the right corner slide. Hits a signature move, that flying head scissor face buster maneuver right on Andrade. This is where he followed up with a discus elbow, only for Andrade to intercept and hit a boot like right into the back elbow. Well, yeah, I do, but I will reveal that like in a different video in the foreseeable future. I'm so sorry, I'm just cannot like just give out that information and until like when that time is right. But anyways, this is where then we got both men were fall down right into the right onto Mello and Andrade. This is where then we got this is where then both. And then Carmelo Hayes and go for a superplex cutter majiggy, whatever maneuver it's called. Then we got Carmelo Hayes and ends up trying to throw the fellow former NXT champion. This is where then we got what's his name? Carmelo Hayes tried to go for Springboard Crossbody. This is where Andrade tried to do the deja vu early. But this is where Andrade it was double cursed because Carmelo Hayes flipped right out of it, flipped him right over. Like, and this is where then Carmelo Hayes ends up like hitting the face first right into the. And it hits a face first right outside the ring. And yeah, and the winner of this match and the 2025 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner, Carmelo Hayes. And I want to give him a big thumbs up on that. Even though in the level of the match, I have to give it about I'll say perhaps I'll say the bronze trophy of the night, because we did have a couple of pretty entertaining matches, which I'm gonna get into one at a time. We're going to start showing like Triple H's most infamous it's very most I'll say infamous and legendary match against The Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell back 13 years ago. But this is where we got. But this is where we got a face-to-face, a sit-down interview with Wade Barrett and Charlotte Flair, where they're asking questions about did she attack Tiffany Stratton. But this is where they show the replay when she threw Tiffany Stratton over on the announce table, which she has a habit of doing to women in the past. But anyways, this is where then we got This is where Wade Barrett said, "I got to stop the fight continuing." Or no, he referred himself as the handsome commentator. This handsome commentator, stop this fight from continuing, or something like that. This is where then we got. This is where Wade Barrett was like things have obviously gotten personal between you and Tiffany, numerous verbal attacks, and physical attacks. This is where Shaw Flair's like, you don't say, and this is where with the very crazy smile, this is where he's like, you were sent home, so. You don't get any kind of physicality related situation. This is where Shaw Flair's like, well, yeah, that's not the first time. I was like, yeah, no lie. No sugar, honey, iced tea, because this has been happening for the past decade. And I'm not sure what to say about it. I have mixed feelings about this, but this is where we got. Hey, Bear's like, all right, tell us why has everybody got so ugly? The two. Between the two of you, that's where the Shaw Flair's like, well, I don't love it, first of all, and second of all, but we moved past it. And third of all, I have a chip on my shoulder, and if I really look, he's like, if I look very deeply on the Tiffany's shoulders, I believe she have a chip on hers as well. And that's where the Shaw Flair's it just. He's like, and even though our confrontations and our encounters have been way too controversial, which that's a very massively a major understatement at this time. But despite that, at the end of the day, we're bringing interest to the fans that are getting very into this. Which she was not lying, because everybody's been saying that, and including even myself. But which I was like. Even I admit, this was all script that Shaw Flair mentioned anything about Ludwig Kaiser, Ludwig Kaiser being, what's that called? Ludwig Kaiser, what's that being what's that called? Being mentioned by Shaw Flair by saying he's under her DMs, but she admit that it was not the case. She was just trying to piss off Tiffany. But I think that didn't even work, unless if he actually was in her DMs, I guess that would be a different story. Mr. Shaw Flair's like, yeah, everybody's talking about Tiffany Stratton, and she continues to say, and it's gonna be at the biggest stage of the year, and that is WrestleMania. This was also. Is how we got here, but man, let's. It's where the truth, but people are mostly invested. Now, I think at the end of the day, I think this is what this business is all about. It can be very insensitive sometimes, but but think about it in a perspective. That's how you get tough skin. And that's how you're gonna make it in the business. And this is where then they show the graphic on the of the women's championship match, which I believe both women are getting ready. But this is not going to be the only sit-down interview that Wade Barrett did with one of the competitors for the women's championship match, because let's just say he did the same with Tiffany Stratton at towards the end of the show, asking some questions about about what's his name, or about what's her name, about her take onto this match between her and Charlotte. But let's move on to the next slide. Is where we got. Let's see. Rhea Ripley. Oh yeah, it was Rhea Ripley that came out. This is where this was a very unusual situation, because normally these gals on Raw, but considering this is WrestleMania week, they let it slide, because this is another WrestleMania main event match, which is going to open up night 2. We talked about on the wrestling news on the podcast earlier. But anyway, this is where we got Rhea Ripley that came out. This is where she got on the microphone. And this is where the Rhea Ripley then said hello everybody, and this was like that. And the way that she's done. This is what she was I really deserve being in this match, but damn, if I could be in this match. And then she was and despite being in main event worthy WrestleMania matches, whether if it's challenger or champion for the last 2 years, but this is this WrestleMania is more different and special than those two matches in the last a couple of years. I should say. Usually, like I was about to fight Bianca Belair at the grandest stage of them all, but then I lost my women's world championship right before WrestleMania, and that's not bad, folks. And it is where then she continued on the promo. This where then she's like so I could but I'm not going to, but I could come out here just talk about the last few weeks. Like I'm not gonna keep complaining or moaning or making excuses. But no, there's no point of talking about the past anymore. And in his words, and she continues to but Sunday, I will get back what I want, and I do what I have to do in order to get it back. And in his words, that she was referring to women's world champion. She's where she said and if it's Rhea Bloody Ripley, well. I'm out here at WrestleMania, it's where that's where that's where the Rhea Ripley was Rhea Bloody, it's gonna be your women's world champion. This is where Io Scott and her coming out right after she said that is where she started waving the fans with a what they call waving to the fans and to the high five in the high five motion. But yeah, this is where then we got Io Scott was about to speak, but she continues to still be the third wheel into this match despite being champion. She just seems she unimportant when it comes to these two not barely paying attention that she's even in the match. But this is where Bianca Belair comes out. This is where Bianca Belair then got a microphone herself. This is where she was hey Io, and then she was in hell Io, and this is where she was. And this is what she was and y'all thought y'all SmackDown, and you're not expecting how I'm gonna show up. And let's just say we thought we're about to see I'll say probably a full complete chaos that's waiting to happen. Which these are not the only three that were in the ring that was that was gonna be in it. But this is where we got Bianca Belair's I was definitely gonna be showing up tonight because this is my house, this is my home, when it comes to being in WWE. And then I show up and this is where she was maybe this will be my last night being on SmackDown for a while because when after WrestleMania, I will be walking out as Women's World Champion. And this is where then she got mixed reaction from that promo. This is where then the EST did say I went on to I sure as hell not gonna be letting it go anytime soon. For putting me through the hell, and this is where all the hell that y'all put me through, and this is where she probably spoke too soon, and yeah, that rhymes, so that must be true in some capacity. But this is where ends up her former best friend Naomi comes out. This is where she ended up kind of teasing some teasing something here, whether Bianca Belair becomes women's champion or not, maybe she'll be a challenger for her championship if Bianca does win, or maybe even be part of the storyline between her and Jade. But it's where Naomi still with her caution police tape, with her loving the pursuit of caution, even though she's not wearing yellow, she's just wearing very neonish green, I should say. But it's where we got Naomi was so you decided to show up on SmackDown, and you're not gonna come out and they're gonna talk to me. And then this is where then Bianca was why should I talk to you? With you being a two-faced backstabber, this is where Naomi was starting to sound like a stalker. This is where she was I've been filling up your emails with plenty of messages, which I was man, don't you ever have a life? This is what I would start thinking. This is where Naomi did I was calling you crazy and text you on the messages, and I know I know you got all of them on your phone or even computer when it comes to emails, depending on or whatever device you receive your email, because it said it's sent and delivered. And this is where then Naomi did continue with her sarcastic, depressed rear end. This is where she was like our friendship meant so little to you, Bianca. And then this was she's like, I might even want to do this right now and have everybody in our business. I want to handle it all in private. Like, you know what I do? But since you want to ignore me like that, then Naomi's like, no, Naomi, we're not going to be doing this right now. Like, this is what she was like, yeah, and you know why I'm not responding to you, like, because, like, you know what you did, like, you know what you did to Jay, and I said what I said, Naomi, and I meant it, like, we are no longer best buddies, like, so, like, we're not going to that salon right down the street ever again, and this is where then Naomi then took offense to that. You really care about Jade so much, huh? Like, if she's the victim, like, when reality it is she really isn't. But this is where then she just start ranting about. That's when Naomi's like it's not about Jade, like it's about you being the jealous. She was like, it's because you being a jealous Judy, and this is where then and this is where Naomi responded back like that's because Jade wasn't there for you, Bianca. Like, why are you not realizing this? This is where then we got a very perfect line from Wade Barrett with him stating like she might. She might she might be covered in crime scene tape, but it seemed like that Jay Cargill will be like committing the crimes, and this is where then she ends up like nearly doing so with her running out the ring. This is where Bianca was like, well, calm down, like Jay, like you only just got a day away. Maybe it was 2 days. No, I think it was be on Saturday. This is where they start arguing, like basically like saying oh, like now you're gonna be taking her side. This is where Bianca was like, no, I'm not on her side, like. And this is where the Rhea Ripley's like Jay, this is not about you. When you staring face to face with the Storm, which I believe is what's to come in the foreseeable future. This is where then Rhea Ripley's like, yeah, like it's about me, but this is where then like maybe like Rhea Ripley speaking shouldn't have been necessary at that moment, because here comes Naomi coming back in the ring attacking Jay Cargill from behind. But I think it was a massive mistake, because she ends up getting hit with a big old right strike right back at Jay Cargill when she started attacking from behind. Like, and yeah, it seems like that you're probably making her, even her own husband Jimbo, like jealous, because like she did exactly what his cousin did to him, like attacked him from behind in that type of manner. But this is where then we got Jay Cargill to fall after Naomi. This is where Scott did not know what to do with her holding on to a women's world championship, and then Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair start throwing fists at each other, like with security and producers trying to break them up, until Scott went up on the top rope in the upper left side, hit a moonsault to everybody, knocking everybody down. And then Scott like, yeah, like this is my time to shine. And normally like since this was the go home show of SmackDown, like, and she was standing up tall. Normally this means that she's not going to win, but it seems like I have other theories that could like be accurate if this is the case in the scenario of the direction, like in the women's world title picture. But we're going to get into that in just a moment. But let me know in the comments who's your pick between Rhea, Io, and Bianca for WrestleMania Night 2, which is on Sunday. But this is where we got Chad Gable then start poking fun at Ray Phoenix about eliminating him. This is where the Dragon Lee did not like the disrespect. This is where he's like, you better give respect to a Lucha Libre that made a successful impact and name for himself. This is where he's like, and I want El Grande Americano right here, right now, like here on WrestleMania SmackDown. This is where then, and this is where the Dragon Lee's like, and my mentor will finish the job at WrestleMania Night 1, if I'm mistaken, because that's where which according to the documents of the availabilities, I think it is going to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano at Night 1. But this is what Chad Gable, right? He was like you can't demand no match. First of all, you can't demand no matches at WrestleMania. Like when like you already know, like El Grande Americano's next match is gonna be at the Showcase of the Immortals. And second of all, don't be talking here like all reckless to my boy El Grande Americano. And then this is where then Rey Mysterio then went right between Ray Phoenix and Dragon Lee. Like just look directly at Chad Gable. El Grande Americano is a disgrace and and a mockery of lucha libre, and I am gonna expose the hypocrisy of what's his name of the lucha wannabe, and this is where the chat game was like. And that's where then Chad Gable was like, all right, like you don't tell me what he's gonna learn, he's gonna be actually teaching it to you, like something that you should have learned, like when you getting started as a luchador, and then and yeah, and if it doesn't show a sign about who El Grande Americano is, considering like with Chad Gable being all defensive, like to when everybody says something insulting about El Grande Americano, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm gonna get into that in just a moment. But the right there, like it's Chad Gable, like it's three of you. Like, calm down, Chad Gable. If you want to fight me, all you have to do is to count the numbers up. Like, it's the three of you three, and the three of us. Like, and this is where then he's like, how about we sell this up in a tag team match? This is where we end up. This ends up being a 6-man tag match, which I probably will give it the silver trophy of the night. Like, it maybe gave me seeing a totally different scenario of what could happen at WrestleMania tomorrow. But we're gonna wait until later on to talk about that, because we got the Motor City Machine Guns to talk about, because they have their match against the Street Profits for their WWE Tag Team Championships. And I would say this would have probably gotten, I don't know, like I'll say the golden trophy, or even the silver trophy, tied with the 6-man tag match. It's just that the ending wasn't really like it should have been, or even if it should have been, like it would have. I would say like maybe they should have had everything built for SmackDown. I mean, be built from tonight, like for tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, depending on which night. I probably need like to add a match onto the card. But I'll tell you, I'm gonna have to give it down to the bottom of the red ribbon of the night, though, like because of what direction they're leaning in towards. But this is where we got the Motor City Machine Guns ends up going like this is where we got Chris Sabin and where Montez Ford starting things off. This is where then he tags in Alex Shelley. This is where they hit the double teams on to the one half of the WWE Tag Champion until we try to go for a pin. Only got a 2 even count. This is where we got. This is where we got Montez Ford go for a wrist lock. Alex Shelley goes for a wrist lock on the Montez Ford. Then he flipped right out of the clothesline. This is where out of the wrist lock. This is where he's getting some kicks right onto the arms of Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. This is where Montez Ford tried to go for a double clothesline, only to get Alex Shelley just with Chris Sabin go for a kicker in the midsection, try to go for a bottom corner rope, but Montez Ford outsmarted him and finally hit him with a clothesline, knocking down the Motor City Machine Gun. And that's where we got Montez Ford. Yeah, like finally getting into the direction I wanted to go in, and this is where he tags in Angelo Dawkins. So I had him come back clothesline because he had double, and this is where he tried to Irish whip Chris Sabin right to the into the bottom course line. But this is where Chris Sabin countered. This is where he bowed his head a bit too early, because here comes we got Angelo Dawkins just run right over him, like, and this is where then with the top corner that spinning elbow strike like you normally do when he makes a big massive comeback. This is where we got Angelo Dawkins then hit the spinning kick. This is where then he tags in and Montez Ford, like this is where then he lift up Chris Sabin on the shoulders in the electric chair position. This is where we got Montez Ford. It's the neck breaker maneuver, like the blockbuster doomsday device. That's what they like to call. They probably got away with him retaining the championship if it wasn't for the meddling it wasn't for the one half of the meddling motor. I'll say like the motorist guns, I guess you could say, or a gun that runs on some power motor and some engines. But this is where then we got Alex Shelley went for the save, throws Angelo Dawkins to the left side. When he tried to go for suicide dive, he ends a hit with a big old right hand, which he ate right into directly from the hands of Angelo Dawkins. This is where we got the partial powerful force, and all of pro wrestling came on, and it was the picture-in-picture version of the commercial break. This is where we got the Motor City Machine Guns, where back on top with when it went off the air. This is where they hit the double boot to the face of Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, with Alex Shelley to apron. Chris Sherman was a legal man to go for a boot right to his face. And this is where we got Angelo Dogstar help fight back against Chris and Alex. Made him knocking Alex right into the upper right side. And then Chris Sabin and Angelo was starting to go for strikes at each other. This is where we got Montez Ford going for a cannonball to everybody on the in the ring. Out the ringside until we got Johnny Gargano comes and attack Montez Ford. This is where that caused DQ finish. This is where then Tommaso Ciampa grabbed onto the tag team champion from the belt keeper. This is where the Montez Ford was keeping them occupied and distracted. With Tommaso Ciampa, when he grabbed onto retrieving, gave Johnny Gargano one. This is where he threw Andrew Dog's face first in the bottom left side ring post. Then they thought that that's how you can win championship is by stealing them during the match. This is where we got Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green that ends up in Nicholas the Ridiculous Aldis's office with her Secret Service of Piper Niven and Alba Fire. This is where then she came in there to file a complaint for whatever reason. This is where Chelsea. This is where Chelsea Green had it written down on paper. This is where she was like, "I'm pretty sure that you will have this all rectified." And yeah, about the tag team stuff between DIY, Motion Machine Guns, and Street Profits. Yeah, we're gonna be hearing some stuff about that later on, like when Montez Ford when Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa thought they got away with stealing the current properties of the Street Profits, like them being the current champions. This is where Nicholas the Ridiculous, that was not sounding ridiculous like this time, and said, like, yeah, you're right. Like, there was an injustice last week, but this week, this time, I'm gonna take action. Like, as a matter of fact, like the three of you were supposed to be in a 6-woman tag match, which I understand what was the reason why they canceled it, because it was supposed to be Chelsea Green and her Secret Service of Piper Niven and Alba Fire taking on Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, and Zelina Vega, but it ends up being a one-on-one match with against Zelina Vega. This is where then Nicholas did say, when I say a singles match, I mean a singular one-on-one contest, not a one-on-one match with managers or Secret Service or assistants being involved. Whoever that's. Whatever alliance or allies that plan on being ringside, y'all better be disappointed because y'all gonna be barred from ringside. And then this is where then Alba Fire, and especially Piper Niven, was like, "No way, this cannot be right." They're trying to argue. This is where it was like, thank you very much, ladies, dropping in, and he's like, thank you so much. Like, I gotta go. This is where. Everybody and this is where all three women were shouting, including Chelsea Green, saying like, "Nicholas, get back here, Nicholas! Like, please stop being ridiculous! Like, come back here, correct this mistake that you made." And this is where we got Randy Orton came out to the ring, but for those that watched the match, between Chelsea and Zelina, what was your thoughts on the match? Do you think this should have at least been the Women's United States Championship? Let me know down in the comment section right down below, Assassinators. On my opinion, I'll say yes, definitely should have been on that card, of being for the Women's United States, if it's not gonna be at WrestleMania. Let's hope better luck in 2026. Mr. Randy Orton did say I've been thinking, the ladies and chin, as of right now, unfortunately, I still don't have a substitute opponent for WrestleMania. That's where fans start cheering. Everybody start booing, boo, this is where they're and not having Randy Orton is like not having let's see, it could be a perfect comparison. It's like not having Randy Orton at WrestleMania is like not having. I'm trying to think what could be a perfect comparison. It's like not having Randy Orton is probably, I'll say, it's like not having a nice, delicious ballpark hot dog at a baseball game, something like that. Basically, it needs that. It needs the branding. It needs the mascot. it needs the mascot of the football team at a what's it called at a big championship game. It needs that what's that called? It needs that star power. It's like having name a popular movie with a very popular celebrity. Um, trying to think. I'll say maybe like it's like having um. It's like I'll say it's gonna be kind of a controversial one, but it's like having Moana without the Rock, or like having what's it or what other movie that's out lately that's trying to make a perfect comparison. Yeah, it's just one, but my point is that it's basically like not the same, but and it's also yeah, I'll think more of a fast food restaurant. It's like going like on a burger like going at a burger restaurant or even a pizza place, and they don't have no burgers or pizza. That's what I was saying. It's basically like that. Like well, having Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I mean, it's understandable that Randy Orton I haven't wrestled at WrestleMania before, like in 2023 and 2016 and 2023 to be the respective years that the Viper never competed at a WrestleMania. That's the only two times he never competed at WrestleMania. But like this is where then he then stated that this is gonna be his 20th event like of him competing in. If he does find and that's where the Randy Orton's like, and I felt that excitement in the air, like, and that, like, when I was doing meet and greets and stuff like that over the past week of being here in Vegas, like, with my wife, and this is where then he's like, oh, I've been to fit, like, I took pictures, gave autographs, no, it is not, like, and this is where Randy Orton pointed out, yeah, like, and my father was in the very first biggest showcase event of the year. Like, he was in the very first. Like, and 20 years later, I debuted at the Garden. Like, my father was attending at the front row and got to witness my match. He was and I, like, and he was like, and he got the chance to witness my debut. And WrestleMania meant so much to me. Like, but my legacy has lots to do with my longevity, no pun intended, of his former faction used to land. But this is where then Randy Orton continued saying, he's like, and this is like being in hell if I'm gonna be sitting now, like this year's WrestleMania, and then this is where then fans are cheering, like you tell Randy, like even if it's against a lower mid carder, like at least it's better than not being on the card whatsoever. And maybe it would elevate that guy. Like whether if he will take the W or not. But anyway, this is where the Randy Orton. But this weekend on Sunday, it will be the 20th time that I competed at WrestleMania. That's true. Like just look all the way back from which was all the way back in 2004. Yeah. Which that was a match when he teamed with Batista and Ric Flair against when they were Evolution against The Rock and Mick Foley. When they were the Rock and Sock Connection, of course. Yeah. Which he said 20 years later because it was like right after like when his father Bob Orton wrestled in the one in the 80s, the very first WrestleMania, which yeah, that's very crazy to think about. Then the Randy was he's but here's what I'm gonna do, like ladies and gentlemen. So hear me out. I'm out all the way to the universe. I'm gonna let you decide, fans, because I will show like this Sunday. Like Bruce will be tied up, and I'll be geared on. Like I wear trunks, I wear my knee pads, I wear wrist tape, just the amount of like a baby. This was like I'm gonna just put a little bit amount of baby oil, like if he's about to do something, well, 18 plushes ish. Even though we know that the Viper doesn't do anything like that, at least in public, unless if he's around his smoking hot wife that he always keeps talking about. Well, he don't always say it, but he mentioned that like when he was cutting a promo on the Gunther on that time, which I was talking. But it's where Randy Orton then they continues like, and I'm gonna lock and roll and ready for Well, you got WWE Universe because I'm not just doing it for I'm doing it for each and every one of you. Like I'm doing it for everybody, including my family. I'm doing it for the boys in the back, like that want to see me. But as far as the boys in the back are concerned about me, check it all out, boys. Like anybody in that locker room, if they want to test their metal with the Apex Predator, I will dare them to step up to me. Like anybody, like or whether in the locker room or on the strip or where everybody interview. If you own a pair of wrestling boots, or hell, like if you own a pair of wrestling gear, like go ahead and meet me in the square circle. If you just happen to catch the win, like if Randy Orton, the legend that needs an opponent, like just throw yourself out there. Like I will challenge you to step up. Like I will be there this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium in the ring, like get ready to go. And it's like, but know this, like you will be met with involved with the three most dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment, also known as pro wrestling. And him to give them a warning, and that's what he said it, which is the RKO. And unfortunately, it was not announced to be neither Nicholas the Ridiculous, Aldis, or Sol Sikoa. If anybody, I'd say it just remained a mystery, and that's what had me thinking maybe it could be somebody that's a surprising either a return or a debut. And who do you think that may be? Who could be Randy Orton's opponent? Which, yeah, like I said, going to be a tricky one. But I think I have a theory on who could be his opponent. Like if it's not going to be anybody that's already on the roster, it could be somebody that they're planning on either bringing back or planning on bringing into the company, which is probably likely a return. But let me know about it in the comments. But that's where we got Nicholas the Ridiculous that ends up like I forgot to tell you, like that finally stops the street. I mean, dropped the what's called the DIY from stealing the WWE Tag Team Champion from the Street Profits. So what you're doing, like this is where the DIY is like, we're about to make a quick exit, telling the I'll say probably the I'll say probably the head of Friday Night SmackDown, this like which something that you should not do if you're trying to do a title theft plan, like of trying to leave and trying to steal the championships, which ends up not happening because Nicholas the Ridiculous stopped him, like yeah, not being ridiculous. This where it's like you better return this to the rightful owners immediately. Like that's where they were trying to deny, but he ends up have to pull away from them by force. And yeah, this is where the Tommaso Ciampa was very ticked off. This is where we got the pissed off Street Profits came in with face to face with him, along with the Motor City Machine Guns. This is where it was like a three-way cluster. But this is where we got Nicholas the Ridiculous that had a solution, which it sounded quite ridiculous, like I should say. That's where the Nicholas, yeah, definitely turned ridiculous here. And I hate to give it to, but it's definitely going to be given the. It's definitely going to get the. I'll say the. It's going to get it's going to get what's that the scum water of the night. Like it's going to get the big cup of the worst scum water, even more worse than disgusting than the toxic water in Cincinnati of the night. Like it's definitely going to get the brownest of them all, like for that matter, like for go down the drain because Nicholas the Ridiculous announced it's not going to be at WrestleMania 41, rather than being at the SmackDown afterwards on April 25th, which I'm not sure if that was a very genius idea of the GM, but it is whatever. But let's move on. We got Drew McIntyre. They showed earlier when he was on the stage of sending a message to Damian Priest on what he's going to do at Night 2's event in the Sin City Street Fight match. But that's where we got Damian Priest came in. This is where then they started getting into a fight. Till he got but before I continue, I want to ask you like what are your reactions to Randy Orton's status, like of him trying to find an opponent? Let me know in the comments. But this is where we got Damian Priest that ends up cutting promo onto not cutting promo backstage interview with Byron Saxton. This was like Now, I want to send a direct message to Drew right here, right now. Like, I'll worry about anything else about Drew, like, on Sunday, but this is where he's like, but Drew, listen here, Andrew. Like, a guy that you end up not to end up bothering to show up on SmackDown, like, go figure. And hopefully that Drew McIntyre will call me out by calling him his full actual first name. But anyways, this is where we got Amy Priest, like, it's the same guy that claimed that he's some kind of a victim. Like Drew, like, let me give you a reality check. Like, you're not the victim. Like, well, at least not yet. You're not the victim yet. And this where he's like, but you're mistaken. If you think it's about you beating you in the match, you couldn't get more you couldn't be more horribly wrong for saying that. And this where he's like, you couldn't be more ready to be in this match, and the world isn't gonna be ready for the violence I'm gonna release on you. Like, you trying to really hard to paint me and just some type of bad guy. Oh, hey, that's following me because I'm gonna beat you so bad. Like, you're gonna be wishing this is where he roasted him on this line, which I wouldn't be surprised if it was be. It's gonna be on the top 20 list of the most savaging messages to an opponent from a wrestler in WWE, which he said, like, I'll beat you so bad, like, to the point that you're gonna be wishing you were featured endeavored yet again, which that was an obvious reference to him getting released in 2014 and like bringing and coming back 3 years after that in 2017 after he made a name for himself in the companies like the likes of TNA and the independent scene, like and with him being recognized as a main event caliber competitor. But this is where Dave Priest finished him off, sending a message to Drew saying, like, I'm going to bring the Punisher, like, and he's going to bury him too deeply in the ground. Like, which I believe that he was given a Undertaker reference because Drew McIntyre kind of insulted him by calling him some type of Undertaker, which it sounds very insulting if I said the obvious, like, understanding specific way, but or getting more in details, I should say. But this is where we got Zelina Vega taking on Chelsea Green. And I'll say, if the Motor City Machine Guns get the Street Profits, get the red ribbon of the night, I'll say Zelina against Chelsea was probably the blue ribbon into that match. Like, I'm going to have to tell you onto that note, but this is where, despite the lower rating I'm going to give it, like, these women still put on a very entertaining contest. It's just that it was just the lack of, I'll say, lack of spark, I guess you could say, of being in the number one golden spot. But yeah. No, you good. We'll do it. But it's where we got Chelsea Green boots Zelina right into the. It's where he stops. That's where she stopped Zelina right in their back. There's the right hand to the face onto the former female LWO member. This is where she threw Zelina right into the barricade. Something similar to what she did last week. This is where then we got Chelsea. This is where Chelsea Green started getting distracted by the referee Charles Robinson, which this is where even Wade Barry was like the referee distracting her, like, and he's allowing, like, just to let Zelina Vega get back up by the time Chelsea Green gets back in the ring. This is where that ends up being the case. This is where then once Chelsea Green got back out there, this is where she got thrown right to the barricade. Then we got this is where we got both women ended up getting back in the ring, like just like a couple seconds before the 10 count at the 8th count, which I believe was probably like 8.9 actually. This is where the Zelina Vega then was like, you're gonna right where we got. This is where they started hitting some forearm strikes right to the face onto each other. This is where everybody was booing Zelina Vega surprisingly and cheering Chelsea Green. I was like, don't tell me this is where are we gonna be seeing a double turn very soon? Because like WWE, kudos to them. They just allowed this to happen. Like where everybody was cheering for Chelsea Green. She's definitely over. I was like, when exactly is Chelsea turning babyface? But like, that's where the fans started just letting poor Zelina have it. This is where Zelina Vega go for a clothesline. She hits some flying clotheslines onto the reigning defending women's United States champion. This is where she caught her leg. This is where she hit the back elbow. Then we got Zelina Vega to like, all right, let's go 619 when she get to the top corner slide and then went to the back to the bottom. She ends up getting pump boot by the face where everybody gave a very, I'll say, fairly loud cheer for the women's United States champion to get they get an ovation. This is where he tried to go for a pin. But Zelina unfortunately kicks out at 2.7. This is where she starts shouting at Charles Robinson, having a conspiracy theory on him, just like how Wade Barrett said he has a conspiracy against the referee. I'm like, what's up with these conspiracy theories about referees? But anyways, this is where we got Chelsea Green that ends up going for avalanche suplex onto the female LWO member. This is where she never got up until Zelina then goes for kicks and punches until she somehow flipped right out of it, hits a sunset flip powerbomb onto the residential Karen. Then she or the super or should I call it the super what's it called? The super code red, which is basically an avalanche version of the code red, to get her to 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Zelina Vega, which I was shocked that they actually gave her this W, like especially with the fans on the Chelsea Green side, despite her being the heel into the feud. But it seems like it's only just a matter of time that they're gonna put them in the opposite roles, like anytime somewhere down the road after WrestleMania 41. And if I was you, I mean, if I was WWE, like I would be thinking about, I would like, I'll say like, but yeah, I'll say if I was WWE, I'll be trying to do it like when it's the right time to do it, even if they have to turn her babyface by having her secret harvest turn on her, and maybe even like have Zelina Vega being the leader of this new version of the secret harvest, but it'll be Zelina's own version, I should say. Like it'll be her own faction. It'll be her new assistants, lackeys, minions, whatever you want to call them, and then they're gonna do exactly what she wants her to do. And that will definitely get Chelsea Green more over than ever, like as the top mid card babyface in the company. And do you think that's what they should? That's how they should do, like a babyface turn for Chelsea Green? In the long story short, kind of perspective, like the way I explained it. Let me know down in the comments. But this is where we got LA Knight that came out because he has his match against Sol Sikoa up next. But this is where before they even got the match starts, where LA Knight cut a quick promo like about Jacob Fatu, like about him having no chances of becoming the United States champion. But this is where LA Knight's like, it is where this is where LA Knight's like, yeah, like Jacob Fatu is a force to be reckoned with, and he's a complete monster. He destroys everything right in front of him, and this was like you never, nobody hasn't seen anything like it. And this is where fans start chanting, yeah, like which that's something that's absolutely factual. And I'll say catchy, I guess you could say, like if you think about it, like in those two perspectives. But this is where LA Knight's like yeah, like with that same energy, like I walked in this place, I turned the world upside down, like as the U.S. champion, and I did it 2 times, and most matches and most wins. And like what that means is because this is the title of titles, and something that you never see. He's like, you claim that you and nobody have seen anything like you. Like, nah, like you haven't seen nothing like nothing like me, like Jake. And this is where then fans start chanting, yeah, I start cheering them like, yeah, tell it Knight. And this is where it's like, and then Jacob, like I saw you grab my towel, and you even gave it a little lick, which that sounds very frightening and disturbing for me to explain that. This was like, it's kind of cliche, like that's the closest that you're gonna get to that championship. Like, yeah, this was like in that, and I am not a dummy. Like, and this was like, I look at you, like I can see that in your inside of you that you are someday like a future champion, whether if it's a United States champion or different other singles champion, like whatever division that you are on, what brand you on, like anything else. Like I don't know when that time comes, but it will be in the future. Like just not here in the present. This is where the LA Knight can do like the continue like and he's like, and when I'm sitting here in this city that's pretty much about that knows the whole the knows the whole the capital definition of chances like eh, I'm talking, I'm talking about some guarantees. That's what I'm talking about chances. And the guaranteed is going to be happening tonight. Is LA that wasn't Soul Cole is gonna eat a BFT courtesy of LA Knight, and then he's like, and Jacob Fatu's gonna have one written in his name all over it. Like I will also guarantee you will. And that's where he's like you will eat a blunt force trauma as well, like courtesy to the man that calls himself the mega star, and with everybody saying his name, which he said when he pointed out to L and I, this is where the Stone Cold ends up going out to the ring and then start going and don't get ready for his match because he was getting tired of waiting for him to get done to hit to cut his promo. No, what am I even saying right now? Like he was. But yeah, this is where we got Solo Sikoa. But this is where we got what's his name? Solo Sikoa, and it ends up like trying to go to the ring. This is where LA Knight didn't wait for him to get in the ring. This is where they start taking him to the outside. This is where we are. Solo Sikoa, however, was back in offense. This is where he throws LA Knight right into Simba, still steps in the upper left side shoulder first. This is where I was like, even though that was something minor, but still was pretty tough and pretty brutal. But this is where we got the match started in the ring as soon as the powerful force and all the pro wrestling went off the air, and that is the commercial break. But this is where, but the thing is, like they went back into the outside. So Sikoa then, I believe, stole a page out of Randy Orton's playbook. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Even though I don't think that's no longer going to be someone like Randy Orton because they didn't obviously show that is gonna be the opponent, the mystery opponent for the Viper, which I'm gonna get into more deep. Like I said, go into more details after this review video. This is where we got Soul Sikoa. Then hit the Samoan drop. This is where we got Soul Sikoa. Then try to go for a springboard into a leg drop. Just hit him right onto the chest and the neck. This is where LA Knight, like that's all you got. Like I think that you leg drop like a 5-month-old baby. This is where then Soul Sikoa took offense to that, but he just played it cool because like he realized he was like but the thing is but I'm having all the offense, and if I was fighting like a 5-month-old baby, like how come I'm getting all the offense in on you? And this is where then he start continuing to do that. But they're saying like he's the one and not his cousin that's the actual tribal chief, like is the one. This is where he tried to go for the leg drop. This is where then what's the name? LA Knight didn't need him right directly into the Sikoa family jewels, or maybe the Fatu ones, like considering that's their actual last name. But this is where then we got Soul Sikoa that ends up going to go for a right hand, but this is where then we got LA Knight countered. Then he started hitting some right hand directly in his face, like boom, boom. When the fans are chanting, yeah, until he hit the discus right hand. This is where it goes to the right side, trying to go. This is where fans are, oh, like if it was like if he was that other guy that does the yes movement. But this is where he ducks out of the clothesline. Soul Sikoa went to the left side, hit the flying clothesline onto the what's got the onto the former self-proclaimed tribal chief. This is where LA Knight hit a DDT. He kept right back up in the backwards position. But this is where he went to the middle of up in the top rope, which I assume that's his finishing maneuver. But he would have probably gotten away with a win if it wasn't for Jacob coming out of nowhere and knocking him right off the top rope. This is where he made a fling right back in the ring. This is where it was the automatic disqualification with the referee calling for the bell. This is where then this is where like everybody thought this was gonna be hopeless and maybe LA Knight could retain as United States champion at WrestleMania. This is where then we got backup for Mr. Los Angeles Knight, and now indeed be a monster that is one big old SOB, not a sob. You need to read it in an initials way, not in a like how it's spelled. But yeah, this is where the Braun Strowman took out both the took out the enforcer and the leader of the new bloodline. This is where then Nicholas Ridiculous was like are y'all thinking what I'm thinking? This is where Wade Barrett like shot out the loudest yeah that I ever heard from anybody in WWE would say. But dude like yeah, which I have to give him time with Seth Rollins of the Goofy Wrestling of getting him the golden trophy, not golden up. I'm thinking of my boy Simon Miller. I mean the golden trophy of Goofy Wrestling. I mean to say, but yeah, he cracked me up with that. This is where Nicholas then went unridiculous, and this was like we have a tag team match, and then it's gonna start right now, and this is where then we end up getting the match. This is where when the partial powerful force was on, we got all the offense with the new bloodline until once it went off, LA Knight started fighting back. This is where he started crawling to try to tag in his partner Strowman. This is where Jacob Fatu tried to stop him, but it was ended up being too late because he gave him the big old hot tag. Braun Strowman unleashed his rage onto the werewolf. This is where then he hits the uppercut onto Stone Cold. Braun Strowman hits the middle drop kick right onto Jacob right into the right side. This is where then Braun Strowman like, all right, like let the Strowman Express come through. This is where then he turned from a monster to a train because he went like zoom and hit a shoulder tackle onto what's his name Stone Cold. Then Jacob Fatu. He hit him so hard. Jacob Fatu went face first into Simba Steel steps on the upper right side. Even Joe Tessitore pointed that out. And that's what even cracked me up right there. But yeah.
We're about to leave. Baby's sleeping on the bed.
Okay, no problem.
Just get up every once in a while.
Yeah, sure.
Check on them.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this is where we got Jacob Fatu hit a cross clothesline right onto Braun Strowman, followed up with a DDT, and this is where then he hit a senton onto Strowman. Then he tried to go for a pin, but this is where you only got a 2.8 count, if not a 9. Where Jacob Fatu is like, I know that was my signature, but that would pretty sure look like a 3 to me. But this is where Jacob Fatu is like, but I'm not going to argue. Like, we're still going to win regardless. This is where he tags in his cousin Solo. This is where Solo's called and boots him right to the face. Where then Solo started marching around to what's his name, Braun Strowman. Then he followed up with a headbutt. Then Solo Sikoa hit him with a boot right into his face. Then we got Solo Sikoa then grab onto the Braun Strowman, go for a sleeper onto the former Universal Champion. Then he started using right hands. That works like I'm about to make an example out of this monster on what exactly my monster is going to do to do your favorite megastar. And this is where then we got Jacob Fatu start hitting some boots directly into the face onto Braun Strowman to start going for a sideways twist headlock onto what's his name, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman count out of it. This is where then he tags in LA Knight. This is where then he knocks him right to the right corner apron. Then he hits him a strike right onto Jacob. This is where then he went right and ducked out of a clothesline from Solo when he was coming to the right corner side. He had a jetpack power slam. This is where the LA Knight then tapped his time. He's like, LA Knight. This is where then is his finisher, the LA Knight, elbow drop, leading elbow. Like this is where he tried to go for a pin. And he probably would have gotten away with this win. I don't know when the last time he won with that maneuver. It's been probably, I don't know, like it's probably been like months since the last time I saw LA Knight got a win with that maneuver off the top rope. But yeah, they probably got away with it with a win like right here if it wasn't for that meddling werewolf that decided to help his cousin out. Even though he's starting to grown apart away from him, that's where he ends up getting expressed by the Strowman Express himself. This is where he got dropped right into the bottom. This is where the referee's like, all right, get back to your post. And this is where Braun's like, okay, follow me. This is where he actually went to the side into the bottom corner. So I try to go for a shoulder tackle, only for Jacob Fatu dodges out of the way, slamming Braun Strowman right over the announce table. Then he faced him right into the inside the ring from the right side, only for LA Knight to hit a baseball sliding kick right into the face onto Jacob. And this is where we got Soul Cold hit a super kick in the midsection onto LA Knight when him was about to plan on hitting him with the Samoan spike. But luckily, this is where we got Los Angeles ducks out of the spike. This is where he ducks out of the spike, then kicks him right in the gut, hits the blood force trauma right onto Saul Dakota to get the 1-2-3. Winner of his match, L.A. Knight, and this is where he stand over. Excuse me for a moment. It should be out. No, let's see. We're about to leave real quick, and we need to make sure baby's not.
I saw you have it.
Oh, the baby? And here. Oh, the little.
Yeah, I thought you had that out here.
Yeah.
But I was on a sheep bed. No, that's in here.
Well, who's the one that's when the last time you had to call?
It's out here.
It must have been, but we lost it. As soon as we're done with the podcast, I'll grab it real quick.
And you look on the sofa. And you look at it. You look behind here.
Thank you. You're welcome.
But I can't find my phone anywhere. Come on. We have to find my phone.
That's true. All right, assassinators, I'm back here. Moving on, we got This is where we got the sit-down interview with Tiffany Stratton and Wade Barrett. This is where then Tiffany Stratton then said like that's where Tiffany Stratton like she don't have to like me, she don't have to be my best bud, like she don't have to be anything that's associated, like, but she damn sure like have to respect me, and I felt like felt disrespected and felt what's the other word that I should put it like. She felt like humiliated in her own moment. She thought she could step foot like of the bully like formed into the queen. And after I came up with a kill shot, I played Charlotte Flair out of her own game, which she even acknowledged that with them showing like what she said, like she's 0-3 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah. And when it comes to medicine, she'd give her a taste of her own medicine. And she was like, but she don't have to like me, love me, or anything. But she damn sure do have to respect me again now. This is where the Wade Bears like, but given the animosity between the two of you, like, and of course the prize on the line, like of being for the women's championship, like this feels like a must-win match for both women. But what would happen like if Tiffy time does end at WrestleMania 41? And this is where Tiffany Stratton's like, okay, I'm just gonna say that like first of all, it's not gonna be happening. When that bell's gonna ring, I will be fully aware. It will be a fight. And it's like, and it's gonna be the hardest matches that I probably will have to go through. So like, I'm gonna have to like do like and all that like nervousness that I felt like every single time I was in that ring with the Queen of Flair. Like I even though not in the match wise, like, but I'm gonna use that as motivation. Like, and I'm gonna stand up to her. Like I'm gonna be standing up to a bully. Like I'm gonna. And like I said, like I was been taken advantage of at WrestleMania. I'm not gonna walk in as champion, but I'm also gonna walk out as champion, which I was like, I hope that will indeed be the case. Like, because it seems like everybody thinks the opposite's gonna be happening. Like, and it just started giving me some flashbacks, even though it didn't happen to me, but it has me that PTSD on what happened with Charlotte Flair. I got the opportunity for that particular women's championship before, just saying. But it's where they even showed a sign of that, like of a teaser that was to come, like into last week's segment, which I cannot get out of my head, which I'm kind of feeling horrible right now just thinking about it. But either way, Bears like again, like it is where the way Bears and wish the best of luck in this WWE Women's Championship defense. But this is where we got the LWO's Rey Mysterio Dragon Lee team with Ray Phoenix against American Made. This is where I think started with Dragon Lee and Julius Creed, which I would say give this match the silver trophy with the LA Knight versus teams with I'd say LA Knight and Braun Strowman against Sol Sikoa and Jacob Fatu shockingly gets the golden trophy. I don't know. It just has that interest of something that was something that was well put together. Like if Jacob Fatu is going to be pushed to the moon, like they made him look strong on most of the match, and even LA Knight as well. So it makes it a little complicated on who could win. But since it was LA Knight standing tall, it wouldn't take much of a genius to put together who could walk out as United States champion. But then again, it's just a prediction, not a spoiler. But anyways, well, yeah, this is where we got the Dragon Lee that hits the springboard drop kick to the face onto what's his name to Brutus Creed. This is where he tried to pick him up, but only them to get spine buster right to the bottom right side. Tags in his brother Julius Creed, this which he started hitting some right hands to the face onto Dragon Lee. This is where he threw him right to the upper right corner slide. This is where Julius Creed Or no, yeah, it was no, it was Julius Creed. Like, oh yeah, you want more of a fight? Like I'll give you this more, and this where then he hit him with a super kick in the midsection. Then followed up with a knee to the face. And we got Dragon Lee to go for what's called sliding hurricane rider with him going for a backstepping like his own version of a moonwalk. Then he hit the cannonball right onto what's his name, Julius Creed. This is where he throws the one half of the Creed brothers back in the ring. This is where we got. Then he followed up with a crossbody. Then he tried to go for a pin, only for Chad Gable to hit an axe handle right onto Dragon Lee. He hit the shoulder first, right into the upper right corner slot. Chad Gable and shouted thank you to in the middle of the ring. This is where he went face to face with Mysterio. This is where we got. This is where once he saw the legendary luchador was staring down right behind him. This is where he started running from him. This is where then they're running all around the ringside area at the in the ringside area in the bottom corner, like with Rey Mysterio trying to get his hands onto the leader of the American Made, like because him and El Grande Americano have been putting him through hell from over the past few weeks. But yeah, this is where then we got Julius Creed grab onto the leg of Mysterio, slams him back first into the concrete floor. Then we got that's where we got Brutus Creed and pushing off Ray Phoenix actually. And I thought this was a sign that what's to come. We could possibly see an American Made could stand up tall and get the win, and maybe we could see some type of scenario could happen. But that did not happen whatsoever, despite the American Made was getting the offense in. This is where Chad Gable hit a German suplex. He thought he might hit a couple more, but he decided for to him and the Creed brothers hit their three-way diving headbutts onto Dragon Lee, hitting him head first, like boom. And this is where the Chad Gable like, thank you. And then this is where then we got Brutus and Julius Creed and started doing it along with him. This is where then we got the partial powerful force and all the pro wrestling came up. But this is where we got what's it name? Dragon Lee was trying to go for tag in either Mysterio or Ray and Phoenix. This is where then Chad Gable ends up countering to him right to the bottom left side. Instead, tagging in Julius Creed, which he tagged in his little brother Brutus. This is where then we got Chad Gable started things off with an attack, but he ends up getting booted right into the face, floored it. This is where then we got the Creed brothers that try to go next, but this is where they're like, we have a better idea. Like, how about we allow Dragon Lee go near us without probably the smart move? Because Chad flips him right over when Dragon Lee trying to attack Chad. This is where he picks him up, go for a power bomb. This is where we got Brutus Creed that hits the Brutus bomb like right off the upper right corner top turnbuckle or Brutus ball, whatever he calls it. Maybe we got in the way with this if it wasn't for a meddling Lucha Phoenix like that came in and stopped the count. This is where then we got. This is where we got Brutus Creed tagging in Julius Creed. And this is where they try to go for a double avalanche suplex, only for Dragon Lee to counter out of it. Hit some double punches right in the midsection onto the Creed brothers until Chad Gable got him in the mix of the fray. This is where he tried to go for an avalanche maneuver, only for Dragon Lee to trip him over. This is where he did like this is the first time I saw Dragon Lee did a triple foot stomp actually. Like did a triple foot stomp onto three of his opponents, knocking him. This is where then Joe Tessitore even corrected himself when he said double stomp, like more likely a triple stomp, like when he knocked all three members of the American Made right off into the canvas. Dragon Lee to try to crawl right into tag into either Rey Mysterio or Ray Phoenix, which ends up tagging in the other Ray, which is Ray Phoenix. This is where this pretty cool comeback maneuvers, like if he's still in the other company. It's like if he never left there, like when he goes for throw him right to the bottom corner of the ropes and hit the spinning roundhouse kick, which that'll never get old, even if he does it like 1,365,674 times, I guess you could say. This is where then we got But that's where then we got Ray Phoenix trying to go for some type of sleeper on the Julius, but until Julius trying to get out of it, this way ends up trying to go for a crucifix pin, only for him to get kneed into the midsection after Julius kicks out at 2.4. And this is where he's like, "Oh, you think you're gonna make me tap out or put me into a 3 count?" Like this is where then he's like, "You better think again." This is where he hits a belly to belly suplex. He hits him hard back first into the canvas. Then we got Julius Creed and grab onto Ray Phoenix, dips him right from the bottom left side to the upper right side. Is where he bounced off from there. This is where he has a super kick on the Julius. This is where we got Ray Phoenix going for a springboard. And it was a triple dip with him going for an arm drag. This is where he's a double foot stomp to follow up with. This is where then we got British Creed trying to go for Cold, only for Ray Phoenix super kick in the knee and in the face, start making him spin around. This is where we got what's his name? Dragon Lee. Not Dragon Lee. I mean, Ray Phoenix then used Brutus Creed as stepping stool to hit a slide hurricane right on the Chad Gable, or stepping stool, which that's what Joe Tessitore at least calls it, stepping stone hurricane right on. This is where we got Dragon Lee that goes for a triple moonsault. Oh no, it was the goodbye amigo kick. That's what he calls it. Yeah, the goodbye. This is where we got Dragon Lee hit a super kick onto Julius Creed. This is where we got Dragon Lee go for that Operation Dragon. Oh, and this is where we got Ray Phoenix that went up top. You're like Phoenix, and then he hits the double knee meteor maneuver to go for the pin to get the 1, 2, 3. And the winners of this match, the team of LWOs, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, and Ray Phoenix. Yeah, that's what the names that were involved in these 3 luchadors. And do you think this could be a sign of what's to come to Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano's match? Please leave a comment down below. But this is where we got a little vignette said "sail into the black machine ahead." And then this is where it was Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk when they show with them for the last few weeks they've been brawling with one another, and then this is where they show from them revealing that it's the main event of WrestleMania, and with them with the favors, and then with Seth Rollins saying he needs to end 2 of the most cancerous individuals in WWE, and that one's Roman Reigns, while the other is Chick Magnet Punk. But anyways, or more likely cancer making Punk, I guess you could say, or cancer maker, I should say, cancer maker Punk. That's what I should say. That's what the term that Rollins would use. But this is they show what's been happening. From it's been confirmed it will be a triple threat match between these 2 and between Rollins and Reigns and Punk, and then with them getting the main event night 1. Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to the next slide. We got John Cena taking on. John Cena then was in a face-to-face segment with Cody Rhodes. Excuse me for a moment before I continue into that. Okay, Assassinators, I'm back here. This is where we saw Cody Rhodes in his nice, clean gray suit, as with him like he normally would wear, with his WWE Championship in his left hand. This is where he started giving all the kids and fans some high fives. This is where we got Cody Rhodes ended up getting into the ring. This is where we got. But this is where we got Cody Rhodes was about to say, "Well, Las Vegas, what do you want to talk about?" And then this is where he ends up getting interrupted by the 16-time world champion himself, which is John Cena, which he could be the 17th. This is where we got. As our fans start chanting, "John Cena sucks," if he's still a baby face. This is where John Cena I'm not gonna care what these any of these losers are gonna be saying. This is where then John Cena. Then there's this winner. This is where then he got the towel. This is where then he told that his final time is now. or his last time is now. This is where we got them they got on the promo. This is where they want to speak what they want to talk about. Which that's obviously a catchphrase that Cody Rhodes always says. This where then John Cena was like, okay, like, should you want to speak, like, or should I? Be like, no, either way, don't matter. Is what Cody Rhodes like. Well, since I'm holding the microphone, like, I guess I'll speak in this where he's like, and this word then is like, okay, like, let's say something. This word then John Cena, and this word John Cena responded with before Cody Rhodes can get a chance to say anything. He's like, shut your mouth, kid. And then this where fans start booing him, like, boo. And then this word then Cody Rhodes like, okay. And this word John Cena admitted that this was also going to be his 20th WrestleMania. Like, and he's like in his 12th title match, like which that sounds very, very familiar with. Sounds similar to like a certain Viper that just said exactly the same thing because he wrestled. Competed at WrestleMania over 20 years now, and this is about to be his 20th as well. Richard Johnson, like, John Cena then continue on this promo saying that, like, I know just as well, like, more than WrestleMania, like, if you get lost with all the noise and all these voices or whatnot, and this is where then John Cena, like, but there's one voice that you should listen to. That's one that coming. And there's one voice that you should be listening, and it's the man that you're looking directly at his eyes right now. And this is where he was obviously referring to himself, Johnson. This is Sunday is going to be the last time that I will compete at WrestleMania. Like, and and this is where he started pointing out, like, there's some people that claim that they're gonna that they call it a career, like once they retire, and they ends up like. But I end up coming back for one more match, like whoever, if it's a dream match purposes, or like if they feel like they want to compete in the ring again or whatever. Like this, where we got. Oh, I'm so done. So funny. But this where the John Cena, like once he retires, it's gonna be for good. This is where the John Cena continue like, and this is where the. And this is where the John Cena pointed out, like he had an opportunity of a lifetime to with The Rock, but guess what you did? You decided to just turn it all down. This is where he's and this is where then he told him that he will indeed beat him at WrestleMania. And this is yeah, you changed all that, Cody. Like you changed all that on what you said to The Rock. And then this is where Johnson then continue on the program. Like, you see, kid, like The Rock just gave you a choice, an opportunity of life. Do you want to do what they think is right? Like when it's in reality, we all know it's not right. Or do you want to win? Do you want to be forever a champion? And the moment you made your choice, not only I think I can beat you, like I realized Sunday, like you definitely don't stand a chance, like with your overconfidence and your and you're coward and you're afraid and you're a coward in denial, or basically he was basically saying it. He's like, in that night, all that left for me to do is the one thing you couldn't do: prove to them that they don't matter. Like when it comes to my profession, and this is where fans are like, boo, and we hope that Cody Rhodes does defeat you. This is where John is like, yeah, you. Like, all this noise and these men, like these people always will make their own version of the truth they want to believe. And when you stop caring about that and stop caring about them, you can start accomplishing anything that you want in life. Like, but you're too weak to understand that. And then this is where then Cody Rhodes did not buy anything that what he's saying right now. This is where he's like, it's Sunday. In order to beat you, like they're only gonna have to choose. Like, do you like do what they think is right, like in here in this arena, or do you win? Like, do you do things on your own terms, do things your own way, and win? That's what he basically told. And he's like, and Cody, you are strong and you are driven, but you're also scared and insecure and not to mention naive. And like you said, you wear the suit because you want to be somebody, right? Like you have your tattoo because you want to be somebody. And he's like, you didn't need the tattoo or the suit, but because it's Sunday, I'm gonna make you somebody. Like this is where the fans like, I don't know about you saying all that. Like I guess when even Cody Rhodes starts smirking, like, yeah, he sounds very delusional. How he can make me as somebody when everybody barely compared me into a new version of you, and then this where Jonathan continued saying then that's somebody who finally realizes that when you become a winner, you have to sever ties on all the losers in your life. And then this is where then fans start booing with Jonathan saying with all this bad mouthing about the fans. Then Jonathan or it could be somebody that could be a real winner, but he ends up bluing it. And in that very moment, you're gonna realize that you're not the captain of this ship, you're not the quarterback of the WWE. You're still just the kid in the man's world. I still don't have the balls in the last real championship. And this where then he said the balls in very clear confidential explanations, which we all know that it's the complete opposite in this situation. But oh, really? You did? I need to start playing some Minecraft. But and this is where then Cody Rhodes was like, all right, you always have to say something, but now I'm gonna end that right now. And this is where he's like, yeah, you do always have something to say, right? And this is where fans start booing, when they're like, yeah, he pretty much do, he always have to get the say, or even the last say, when it comes to him trying to bury somebody on the mic. And then this is where you're like, yeah, you think it's all about you, Cena, doesn't it? And this is where the John Cena was oh, this is what you fight for. This right here, these people, this all matter to you. Then the Cody Rhodes yeah, you said in London specifically, you don't bury talent, correct? You already the talent, aren't you? I know what a graveyard of talent that would. He was I know a full graveyard of talent that would disagree on that statement you made at London a couple weeks ago, but we're not going to be talking about them. We're talking about WrestleMania. And let me ask you this question, Jonathan. And then this word, then Cody Rhodes then asked, do you know, do you know that? And this was do you know that guy's name behind the camera that handed you a microphone? And this was you know his name, John Cena, for example. This word, and John Cena did a little shrug if he doesn't know. This word, then Cody Rhodes yeah, obviously you don't. And this word, oh, you and he's when you walk backstage, I bet you don't know even half the people that's backstage, whether they're a producer, in Gorilla, or the wrestlers that's new here on the SmackDown roster. And this is a totally different WWE, John, and not the one that you're used to, back 15 years ago. And, and when it was your WWE at that time, I had to admit, I worshipped you. They also worshipped you as well. But since the GOAT haven't shown up since Elimination Chamber, allow me to offer you a little perspective, okay? You called me underwhelming. Guess what? If that makes me underwhelming, let me tell you that makes you overrated. That's what he said. Said with some confidential explanations. This was he's and not only that, you're also overbearing, and apparently you're out of touch in time, and he's your face is melting wax, and you know how to stack it down for the next and spin the. He was and yeah, you got spinny ass spinny ass legs, and you're more paler than Sting's face paint at Starcade '97, and you're in the sanctimonious comments about how I am the errand boy when the whole damn world watches the time on the Oscars game, and he was everybody sat at home and watching everybody serenades me with my own theme song while they see you with you being surrounded by people at home and at attendance at an Oscar event, you buck ass naked, that infamous spot back a year ago, if I'm mistaken, where he offered the Oscar award to somebody, which I totally forgot what exactly was the award for. Excuse me for a second.
He told me to tell. He told me to tell you that Zion's crying.
Okay.
I can't open it.
All right, assassinators. We got as we were talking about on the main event segment. This is where Cody Rhodes then also went off on John Cena, saying like, by God, John Cena, like, it is 2025 now, like, and you still can't, and for over the past 23 years, you still can't wrestle. And this is where they said with those big, clear three words, I should say. Yeah, like 3 words like that. This came out of his mouth that stunned Johnson yet again, like it did a few weeks ago when they were on Monday Night Raw on that episode, which I believe they were in London, if I'm mistaken. Instead, we saw like history repeats itself from then, like because when the fans are chanting "You can't wrestle," it got into Johnson. We gave him some type of PTSD because it was flashback from over a decade ago when fans started doing that chant of "You can't wrestle" to John Cena. Like this word, then John Cena then responded back on the mic to say like I'm not gonna listen to a bunch of idiots in this word. Then he called them idiots. This word. This is where fans start chanting Cody Rhodes' themes. Chants, catchy chant. That's very catchy, by the way, from the last couple weeks. Like when fans are chanting Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, and this word then Johnson got on the microphone. This word he was like, this Sunday I will beat you. Something that basically he's like. But I don't have to wrestle in order to beat you. This is where he poked him in the eye. He just flinged it into his left eye, which I never thought. Like, if this was like back in 2020, 2021, I would have fasted forward 4 or 5 years later. I would not expect John Cena would do something like this. Because I thought he would forever be a babyface until retirement. And then this is where then we got John Cena about the AA, which it could be a preview on what's to come. But this is where Cody Rhodes ends up countering and hit a crossroads, which I figured that was going to happen. And it showed that normally when somebody gets the upper hand in this manner, it seems like they're not likely going to be winning. But that's how it was the case right here with Cody Rhodes, with him standing up tall, leaving the building, like with him being the one, like being on top and over, like then John Cena. Trey, you don't shut the door. Oh my gosh. But anyways, yeah, assassinated. That was basically for SmackDown. And I would say SmackDown was probably not so perfect, but it still was something to give you a reminder on what to be excited about, which is this weekend of the biggest showcase of the event. I mean, not that much of excitement on tonight's SmackDown, but it did have matches that would that had me thinking and convinced me on who could win at this weekend. Which I have all these list of predictions on who I'm gonna be who I'm gonna root for the what's it called. I root for who I'm gonna root for not root for who I'm gonna predict that he's gonna likely win at WrestleMania this weekend, and let me know in the comments below what your predictions are. But I'll give SmackDown still was a pretty decent show. I'll say, but mostly the best match probably was LA Knight and Braun Strowman taking on Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, and the LWO's Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee against what's his name Dragon Lee again and Ray Phoenix, that's who it was, and also a couple more elements probably mostly the segments with Seth Rollins kind of promo, and then Cody Rhodes taking on taking on what's his name, Cody Rhodes and John Cena, which it teased like who could win, which I'm gonna get into just a moment. But I'll give SmackDown, I don't know, I'll say maybe 3.5 stars. I'm so sorry. It just did not have like that excitement, but I can't say that they grew have high hopes for Carmelo Hayes though. Like even though like the Andre John Memorial Battle Royal is starting to be more of a lackluster achievement that you can never accomplish, but still, it's a sign that they still see him like as a future breakout star in the main roster. But excuse me for a moment. But yeah, but we're gonna go down the list on all the match. Without further ado, we're gonna be going down the list on who could be the winners of WrestleMania 41 on both night 1 and night 2, which we're gonna start things off with. Yeah, main event Jey Uso taking on the Ring General Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And man, you already know who I'm going to be rooting for. I'll say, despite like Gunther beating him like 3 straight times in a row, like which the first one when he was when Jey Uso challenged him for the Intercontinental Championship, like probably a little bit over a year ago. Yeah, before Gunther dropped his title like to Sami Zayn for over 600 days, that's probably the most legendary title reign Gunther has ever had with any championship. No disrespect to this UK championship reign. That was in that exact same level as well. But it's just that this World Heavyweight Championship is lacking something, which I cannot explain right now. But it seemed like his days is about to be as a heavyweight champion, about to come to an unfortunate end in his end. But I think like we'll see Gunther look like he's probably going to retain with him hitting every single move that he got for Jey Uso, only for the main event Yeet Master to keep kicking out of. And this is where we can see Jey Uso start proving like Gunther that he's wrong. This is where he started hitting his maneuvers onto the ring general. This is where then we got this is where we see Jey Uso could be winning at first, but only for him to get stopped by Gunther. Like it would be hopeless. Like if you try to go for an Uso splash, but it ends up getting countered into a Gunther. But even one off the top rope being like an avalanche version of it. But yeah, this is where we can see. And Gunther would even go up the top rope, only for Jey Uso probably to intercept him. This is where you with the super kicks and spears and what other move he has. Then we'll probably go for the Uso splash right at the last minute. Or maybe we could see like Jimbo could come in and help him out, but that would probably get him so far though. But this is where he had to depend on his own methods. This is where we can see like a totally different side that we'll probably never see out of Jey Uso. This looks like a man that's been filled with doubt. Like where everybody thinks that he's never gonna win the big one. He's never gonna win the big gold championship. And this is where we can see Jey Uso prove all the critics and haters wrong, like in this match. He gets the big splash at the end of the match. I think that he'll get the 1, 2, 3 and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, sir, man. My final prediction is going to main event Jey Uso. He's going to retain for the World Heavyweight Championship. Next up, we got Jacob Fatu against L.A. Knight for the United States Championship. And just like his cousin main event Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu's been showing that he belongs in the singles division as well. From the prestigious Nawai / Fatu family. Like it seemed like that we're gonna be seeing plenty of these family members that's in the industry, like gonna get plenty of opportunities and plenty of success in this business, whether if it's championships or other accomplishments, they're going to manage to do so. And I'll say, as much as I'd like to see LA Knight get the win and retain and have another Mania moment like last year when he faced AJ Styles, it just doesn't seem like that. I think that LA Knight could like bring in some few offense in and look like that. He looks like a guy that's going to retain and going to hold on to that title for a little bit longer until another worthy challenger beats him for it. But this is where we can see Jacob Fatu ends up like coming, makes a massive comeback. I mean, Jacob Fatu was shockingly will probably will not even be phased by the blunt force trauma. I think that LA Knight will probably perform that maneuver on him. Then we can see Jacob Fatu get back up, not phased about it because yeah, he is a he's a beast that don't feel any type of pain. This is where we can see Jacob Fatu just completely squash LA Knight in the second half and then hit him with his triple springboard moonsault that looks similar to the prettiest moonsault that Tiffany Stratton does. This is where he'll probably get the pin. 1, 2, 3. Winner of his match and the new United States champion. Yes, sir, ma'am. I'm talking about we got the second member of the second bloodline, a family member of the bloodline, like are gonna be a new champion in the night, like probably right after his cousin beat Gunther. And yeah, my final prediction: Jacob Fatu becomes the new United States champion and wins. And this is where he'll ditch Sol Sikoa and also add it in the process with him saying like we'll probably give a big like "I don't like you" speech to the tribal chief wannabe, and ditches him and even hit a super kick and a triple moonsault, which they'll probably automatically turn him babyface, which is a rare babyface move, like a babyface turn move, or a very rare move, a very rare thing for a babyface turn to do. I should rephrase that, yeah, or whatever the scenario is. But moving on, we got the New Day against the War Raiders in for the World Tag Team Championships. But the thing is, like the tag team, it seems like that the tag team, it needs a stipulation, which WWE lacked, was lacking of creating one for this storyline for this feud, and hopefully that this despite that it still will be something to be excited for, which I still think that area is because if it was any other other situation, if it was like any work in any other situation, like if a Big E returned, I would think that Big E would be costing the New Day, but I think it's gonna be the totally opposite. We're probably gonna see something dastardly and probably something sneaky from the New Day. That's gonna help them get the win here. Even though the War Raiders will probably do they'll do if it's any typical Monday Night Raw episode, which this would probably be a little bit more on the boring side, but at the same time, it does. The only thing exciting about it is finally see the New Day have their moment. So my final prediction: the New Day will do something heelish and finally have their moment, but in a way the fans do not want to see them doing so, and they'll become the new tag team champions. Probably they're 14th or 15th ranked with those titles, if I'm not mistaken. But moving on, we got Jade Cargill taking on Naomi. And yeah, this is a feud that all started with Naomi, basically taking out Jade Cargill and simply replacing her after she took out her, which we all did not know who exactly was the attacker until the clues start showing that it could be either Naomi or Bianca Belair, which I think in this feud, it's gonna be an easy prediction, but I'm gonna get into the story-wise perspective, a little bit in details, of we're gonna see Jade Cargill basically just gonna go after Naomi, even though Naomi gonna be trying to take the coward's way out of trying to escape, only for her to keep getting stopped every single time and being prevented from making the nearest exit. And then this where, but still Naomi will try to bring in some offense and try to fight back, only get near falls after near falls after near falls, no matter what move she even even hit a brand new finishing maneuver. She'll probably make it look good, even though she's probably going to be taking the L. And this is where, you heard me correctly. This is where we can see Jade Cargill come out of nowhere, hit that pump boot right into the face, which is her signature move, of course. Hits it with a jaded 1, 2, 3. And yeah, the winner of this match, Jade Cargill. And some just tells me this won't be the end of their feud. I think that they're going to continue, and maybe they're going to add some more spice into this rivalry. But my final prediction, yeah, like I said, the Storm is going to get the W and have another WrestleMania moment, but on her own, of course. Next up, we got Rey Mysterio against El Grande Americano. And I was thinking this could be like obvious, like since the El Grande did like attack Rey Mysterio and send him to the go home edition of Raw on Raw WrestleMania even. But I don't think that's absolutely the case at all. Like I don't think that like it's gonna be Rey Mysterio's time. I think that Rey Mysterio. I'm not sure if Rey Mysterio is exactly gonna unmask El Grande Americano yet. I think they're gonna drag this out for another month or two, but yeah, like it's gonna be a pretty entertaining match, like with two men like that are luchadors. One that's the real deal, while the other one's just a WWE fictional version of a luchador. But yeah, we could see them like just have a really good match, like a very great technical and athletic match, like with them hitting some high flying and some hard hitting moves onto one another. And this is where it looked like that. And maybe this looked like Rey Mysterio could win, like with the 619. Only like when he hits the maneuver, he ends up getting intercepted by a Grande Americano. With him, like just hitting him with like that, what's that flying headbutt, crossing headbutt out of the interception with like with him not even having the metal plate, but still hitting him with the maneuver. Yeah, like where we at least expected him, like being distracted with with someone like American Made coming out. This is where we can see him putting the metal plate on this mask, and I think that he can hit the diving head. But that way, go for the 1-2-3, and yeah, and go for the cover for the 1-2-3. Let me rephrase that. And my final prediction: El Grande Americano gets the win, and this is where we can continue the feud between him and Rey Mysterio. Then, like between Backlash or maybe even what other, or maybe even Saturday night's main event. But I think it'll probably be Backlash when they go to St. Louis when we can see Rey Mysterio like finally see who finally get some revenge, beats him, and then unmask the guy, and it'll turn out it will be Chad Gable. Like something that'll be something that's obvious, but it's still like it's very hilarious and entertaining. But next up, we got Charlotte Flair versus Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair taking on Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. And this is gonna be a match that's probably gonna be right before the main event. I just feel it like if main event Jey Uso is gonna be on the is going to be on the main event. Jey Uso against Gunther is going to be on the opener. They're going to probably find a way to make this like the third main event of the night. And yeah, this will be probably a match that everybody's wondering who's going to win. Like, is Tiffany Stratton's going to get the rub, or is Charlotte is going to be getting the rare rub, I should say, from the Queen? Or do you think that the Queen's going to completely squash and bury her? Well, I think it's going to be neither. And some of y'all are going to be saying, but Austin, how's that possible that neither's going to be happening? But, well, let me tell you something right here. That's because none of them not gonna beat them in a humiliating fashion, and none of them definitely not gonna be at the same time not gonna get one over the other. I just think that we could see something similar to this, from being like a Jade Cargill versus Naomi and Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. This feud's gonna drag out. I'll say Tiffany Stratton's gonna be looking good. She's gonna be definitely over though at the same time. Even though we could possibly see the opposite happening. But Charlotte, and this is where we can see Charlotte Flair doing her really great stuff in the WrestleMania. Even though she gets too many title opportunities at WrestleMania, I think that should end in the foreseeable future. But that doesn't change the fact that doesn't mean I don't want her to be a 20-time women's champion. It's just it's getting a bit old, but since that they want Charlotte to break her father's record, just like a certain 16-time world champion that's tied with the Nature Boy. I think that we could see Charlotte Flair could technically make history, but at the same time doesn't, like with the considering like how many main roster titles she has won. But we can see like a near fall, but Tiffany Stratton could do like a prettiest moonsault, a move that rarely gets kicked out of, getting kicked out at the last second. I think that would probably be the highlight. I think Tiffany Stratton will show her that she's not a punk and she's not gonna just gonna come in here and just gonna defeat her defeat her, not make it easy for her, I should say. But that's where we get the unfortunate part, though. We can see Shaw first somehow get the upper hand, then ends up trying to go for going for like a very like a super very difficult version of remove the what they call it, the figure eight, like after like a mishap with Tiffany Stratton, like in some capacity. I just think that could happen, like with her distracting her with like hitting her right with an inanimate object, or maybe even like hit her with a big boot to the face, like out of nowhere, and then she goes for the figure eight. Have her all locked in, be something similar to when she did to Asuka back at WrestleMania 34. And that's where we can see Tiffany Stratton and start going for something that we never thought she would do, and that would be tapping out. Without make her look weak, but at the same time, she was still look good in defeat. Or maybe we could see something happen, like maybe we can see, or like do a cheap shot by hitting her with a women's championship, maybe, and maybe hit her with the natural selection. That'll probably be the safe way to do it. The other way to do that, but either way, my final prediction is Charlotte Flair is going to become the WWE Women's Championship. Even though some of y'all probably disagree with me and hoping that's not going to happen, but you cannot deny the fact that WWE is heading towards that direction. But yeah, and also. This is where we can still continue the Buff Barbie could still get another shot at the women's championship against the Queen of Flares. Like, no doubt about it, like for sure. Like, I think that they're gonna do a redo to this another do-over, I guess you could say, with Tiffany Stratton winning the title back down the road. But next up, we got the night one's main event match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And this is the big story, like about like these three men and the love triangle between Paul Heyman, more likely a love square, like with Paul Heyman right at this point. Like, whose side is Paul Heyman on? Which he claims like he's still the tribal chief's wise man, but at the same time he's gonna be in CM Punk's side, which that's gonna be extra interesting, I guess you could say, like. Which it has me speculate, like, who is he truly on the side of? Well, we're going to get into that at the end of things, but it seems like that, like, this is where we can see like them just continue. This is where we can just start seeing them just going at it with one another to start that's hitting a twister of punches onto each other, like, and this is where they'll be knocking each other like into things, like even in the outside. And after all, this is going to be a no disqualification contest, considering it's going to be like it's a triple threat. Considering it's a triple threat match, it's going to be like some type of a no holds barred kind of contest. So they're going to basically do whatever they want. They're going to probably even use steel chairs and some steel steps and tables and whatnot, which the table part is the most the fan favorite maneuver. The fan favorite weapon in all of professional wrestling. I don't know why. Excuse me for a second. But yeah, anyways, this is where we get them to start this. It would be like a three-way cluster, basically, like with these three men just beating the living daylights out of each other. This is where then we could get towards the end, like with them just keep getting near falls, like no matter how many spears or GTSs or curb stomps that they do to one another, then even other moves like Superman punches, and maybe even we'll get a rare spot of a Pepsi plunge, maybe in some shape or form. And Seth Rollins going for a pedigree of his own as well. And other moves that's under their arsenals, like they still will keep kicking out. But this is where like we'll get a spot like where Roman Reigns try to bark some orders at Paul Heyman. after probably someone like Seth Rollins going for a curb stomp on him, only for him that that eat a spear himself. This is where we see Roman Reigns try to get some revenge, try to go on for a curb stomp. This is where we try to make Paul Heyman bring the steel steps. That's probably in the ringside, in the rings. They're like I'm begging you, I'm barking orders at you. He trying to end our career. The man to bring then Paul Heyman ends up doing so. Then he probably hit the curb stomp on him. Thank you very much. Here you go.
Thank you.
But this is where then he tried to do the same. This is where he tried to make him do something for him. But yeah, this is where we can see Paul Heyman ends up you try to or this is where we can see like Roman Reigns trying to make him do the same with CM Punk, only for Paul Heyman could refuse to do could refuse to do so. This is where we end up. This is where will be the downfall of Roman Reigns. When Roman Reigns started going off him, saying like you're really gonna choose a friend that you don't really you hardly hang around anymore, like over your tribal chief, like you disgrace me, like. And this is where then he started going off on him, saying like I thought I could trust you, I thought you were my wise man, I thought you were my friend, I thought you were family, or etc. But now you're disowned of the island of relevancy. This is where we can see him just doing it right in the middle of in the ring. This is where then he's about to attack him, only for CM Punk to catch him from behind, hits him with a GTS out of nowhere, boom, knocking him out. This will be a perfect distraction for him. Then we'll see Seth Rollins then try to go for an attack, but this is where CM Punk, which I don't know how he does, I don't think he does, because he will get hit so hard with a curb stomp by Roman Reigns. I just think that's going to happen. I'm going to finally take him down, but he'll be down at the moment. CM Punk goes for the GTS. 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match and his first main event of WrestleMania, CM Punk. My final prediction is CM Punk. But expect something even more shocking happens. It seemed like that Paul Heyman is going to be CM Punk's wise man, and they'll be this little duo again, from 12, 13 years ago. But only for when Paul Heyman will give a grin, when a very unusual grin, an evil one, one that you should not trust, when CM Punk behind CM Punk's back, when he has his back turned. This is where, once he turned around, this is where we can see something similar to what John Cena did when he turned heel, when he did to Cody Rhodes, and that would low blow him in the Punk family jewels, boom, low blow him. This is where then Paul Heyman, you really think I will join sides with you? This is where we can see Seth Rollins that ends up comes in the ring. This is where this is where Paul Heyman will probably hand him a chair to put right underneath CM Punk. Hits him with a curb stomp onto him. At first, hit him with the steel chair. First, what he did to both Ambrose and Reigns back on that Monday Night Raw in 2014. He started whacking, boom, 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 boom. And this is where then he puts the chairs right underneath both Punk and Rollins. Hits either one at a time or even both at the same time. Something that will be a massive WrestleMania moment if he does so. But yeah, he hit the double curb stomp, or maybe one one at a time, with both Reigns and Punk faces right into the chairs. And then the night ends with Paul Heyman walking out of Mania with Seth Rollins as his new Paul Heyman guy. Which that sounds very shocking, but yeah, of course, then again, this is just my fantasy booking of how I see it. But next up, we got night 2 is the opener. We'll see Bianca Belair taking on Rhea Ripley, taking on the champion Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. And then it's a shame to see someone such as talented and underrated as Io is, and she is the women's champion, but it seems like that she's not even. It seems like she's not walking in as the champion still, despite being so. And I believe this is gonna be a very a very satisfying twist, like with like girls like Bianca Rhea Ripley will keep like sending her into the outside of the ring, which will be like something similar to their like in-ring brawls like for the last couple of weeks. Until Io Sky will start snapping, this is where we see her making a comeback, only for her to nearly get screwed. Like, but this is where then she ends up like probably like will somehow get in the match. Like if we see someone like Io, like Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, I'm trying to think who it could possibly be. I wouldn't also be surprised if there's some outside distractions, like with someone like Naomi or maybe even a Jade Cargill, maybe Naomi, I guess you could say, which Bianca Belair is trying to avoid her as much as possible. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jade Cargill did so, like by. I would say I wouldn't be surprised if Cargill would be distracted because given that she was arguing with Bianca Belair, and we're going to see probably in future some type of intensity like down the road, but we're just gonna have to wait and see about that for a different day. But this is where we can see that Rhea Ripley could possibly hits a riptide or something, or like out of a reversal of a what they call a kiss of death of a what's it called KOD. This is where we can see Io Sky could then get back in the ring, hits the meteor onto Ripley. Like this is where she'll probably hit a double over the genius moonsault onto both Belair and Ripley, with her getting the pin of a 1-2-3 and retains her women's world championship. My final prediction: Io Sky remains as the women's world champion. And next up, we got Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. I'll say, even though like Logan Paul's been losing lately, like and they're not maintaining any credibility, like as the megastar in her own right, but it's just like, but it's all about like of maintaining the relevancy of the phenomenal one, because he even said like it's only just a matter of time when he hangs up his boots like in the foreseeable future. I think that we could see like AJ Styles like probably in the next 2 years, I guess you could say. Then you could call it a career, like maybe by 2027, if not like 2028 or maybe nine. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy much of the phenomenal as much as I can, even if he does not become a WWE championship ever again. Like that's all perfectly fine. Like he probably won every championship that he possibly could ever accomplish in his run in WWE in in recent years. But yeah, like but I'll say like we could see. I wouldn't doubt if we see an outside interference of Karrion Kross, but I just feel like that's probably not going to be happening. But like Logan Paul's going to give it his all. Like, don't get me wrong, he's going to have like every other WrestleMania he competed in, like whether if it was against like the likes of Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, and I'll say even when his son Dominic Mysterio, when he was teaming with the Miz in his first match, like before Dom turned heel, and even his memorable triple threat United States Championship match against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Which is a shame that we're not going to need to see the prize fighter taking on the Viper, but we're going to get about who the replacement of Kevin Owens is going to be for the Viper in just a moment. But yeah, I would say despite Logan Paul's offense that he's going to get, like even the one lucky shot, AJ Styles probably going to find a way to get right back up, hits all his moves, and probably close the match with a happy ending phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3. And my final prediction, AJ Styles is going to win. And then now we got the women's tag team championship match between Bayley and Lyra Valkyria taking on the champs, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And it's not going to take a genius to know who's exactly going to be winning this. It's going to be an obvious one. But I'm just going to get into the details a bit. Like, with this is going to be like a match that you will probably watch on Monday Night Raw. I believe they're going to keep showing the hell out of George Kettle chips. And this is where this is where we could see like Bayley and Lyra Valkyria will do their best of trying to win those belts, but ends up like not being so lucky enough to do so. This is where we can see like some what they call some distractions, and then we can see like and we could possibly see like one of the babyface teams, the members of it, like will accidentally hit each other with a strike, like knocking them outside the ring. This is where it could probably give an this is where we see Liv Morgan and Raquel Reese take advantage of the moment. Like with Liv Morgan, probably hits one of them with the Bolivian, which I would say probably onto Bailey, of course. I'd say like with the Bolivian and then the Fajana bomb, kills for the pin 1, 2, 3, and this is where we can see like. And yeah, with them being very devastated that they did not win win the women's tag team championship. But this is where we can see like an attendant George Kittle come out there to even try to cheer them up. And I wouldn't be surprised if he has some kind of a revealing revelation, like a revealing, I was like some type of shocking revelation, I should say, like to share with the challengers and the WWE universe. Like and I know this is gonna be like you probably think I'm out of my mind, but I wouldn't be surprised if George Kittle said that he like have some type of feelings for the role model, which is Bailey. And yeah, and this is where they have their moment right then and there. Yeah, some of y'all probably gonna be criticizing me on the comments saying like, but George Kittle is a married man, he would never cheat. Like, well, I'm not saying he's cheating. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in an open relationship with his wife. Like okay, I'm definitely gonna about to be damn near canceled on the SNA podcast for saying this, but or to be damn near canceled of being on YouTube or any other entertainment like video related activities. Like if I reveal this, which I already did, of course, but yeah, I just think that they're gonna be like an on-screen couple on WWE program. Like if they're gonna have George Kittle be on WWE television a bit more often, like on his off season on the NFL, I just think they're gonna do like some type of storyline, given that they're Bay buddies, Bailey and Kittle. So I think that's gonna happen. But also like in the future, I think that we could see like one of these women gonna turn heel, but who? It would be shocking to see Lyra Valkyria go to that path, and this is where we could see like her, yeah, they're going to be battling over for the championship, which leads up to Bailey like finally winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But yeah, that's going to be my final prediction on that. And speaking of Intercontinental Championship, we got the fatal four-way Intercontinental between Penta, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Braun Breaker, the champion. And if I hear everybody been saying this, predicting this, and I'm not trying to copy it off, but it makes sense when it comes to of the Judgment Day split. Like, I just think with them just teasing it, like with Finn Balor not liking any ideas that come from whether if it's Dirty Dominic or Liv Morgan's mouth. He always tried to find a way to shut it down, like whether it's add a new member to be a substitute, even if it's a substitute for JD McDonough until he comes back, or or added just a new member in general, or with Dominic Mysterio adding being an opportunity for championships, like which is most specifically the IC title, and like with Liv Morgan's help of sabotaging his opportunities of winning it himself. And I think we can see something similar like this happening, but this is where we can see like a brawl for all with all four of these men. This is where we'll see some diving spots, some pretty cool spear sequence from Braun Breaker, and then Penta hitting a very dangerous version of his Penta driver maneuver on either of the opponents. But it's where we get to the final end, with Braun Breaker will be in the ring with Finn Balor. This is where they finally will try to end things once and for all. Looks like one of these guys is going to pin the other to walk out of Allegiant Stadium as Intercontinental Champion, only for like a little help from Dominic Mysterio. This is where, but it's where this is where we got Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor start arguing on who should win. Like it would probably last for 5 minutes straight, only for to give enough time for Braun Breaker to get back up after he gets double teamed by the two Judgment Day members. This is where we see Braun Breaker going for a spear with Dirty Dominic Mysterio moving out of the way. If he turns around, he ends up spearing Finn Balor. This is where Dominic Mysterio then try to go. I just try to capitalize on Braun Breaker, but it'll be too much for him. This is where we can even see. This is where that's where then we see like some type of distraction with Liv Morgan, like somehow we'll see both men knock each other out. This is where we could see somehow fit somehow everybody's down in the match. Liv Morgan to try to drags Finn Balor right onto the Finn. I mean, drags Dirty Dominic Mysterio right on the Finn Balor. Referee counts to 3. Here's your winner and new Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio. And this is where we can see the end of the Judgment Day as soon as the Raw after Mania goes on the air. And this is where we see Finn Balor will go off and rant about and show his displeasure of what exactly that both Dom and Liv did. And this is where there'll be the end of the Judgment Day, and there'll be a new and they'll be known as a new faction if they kick Finn Balor out. And this is where we could possibly see him teaming with JD McDonough. They'll be in the tag team feud with Dominic and Carlito, which Carlito and Dominic Mysterio will still be teaming with Liv and Raquel, as a double date faction or something like that. Well, that's only if Raquel gives in with Carlito in kayfabe. But enough about that, of course. I don't know what I'm even talking about right now. But yeah, my final prediction, Dominic Mysterio holds on to that Intercontinental Championship. He's going to probably hold on to it until a little while. Hopefully Sheamus will be the one to dethrone him by SummerSlam. But yeah, that's what I think is going to win. Even though my original plan will be Braun Breaker, pinning one of them, from them being distracted with the other, with them arguing, teasing the split, which will get to there after WrestleMania, with them finally splitting, and there'll be no more Judgment Day with them actually just going by different alliance names. That's what I think that's what's going to be happening on that match. Leading into something what's to come in the future. But moving on, we got Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight, and I think this is gonna be I'd say a triple time annihilation than what we expected to be. This will be probably very extreme to the point they'll even take this outside of Allegiant Stadium. I wouldn't be surprised. It'll be something similar to a hardcore match at in the Attitude Era, but in a main event kind of caliber spot. And this is where we can see them hitting each other with so many weapons, and then this is where we can see and this is where we can see Drew McIntyre this is where we see them, but they'll end up getting back in the ring. This is where we see. Drew McIntyre probably attempt to go for the feature side DDT, only for Damian Priest to hit the they'll try to go for what's that called, South of Heaven's chokeslam, which will probably be a near fall. Then and this is where we can see him possibly could do a Razor's Edge in the ring, which he probably already did outside somewhere, in a very even more dangerous spot, which despite the move Drew McIntyre still get up from. This is where we're trying to go for. Drew McIntyre will counter out of it. And this is where he'll hit the future side DDT. This is where we thought he'd go for a Claymore kick, even though he'll be intercepted by Damian Priest. This will get a third time the charm of a what's that called? Of a Razor's Edge. This is where it still will be a 2.99999999999 situation. This is where we get Damian Priest try to go for the Razor's the South of Heaven's chokeslam, but lightning does not strike twice. Drew McIntyre flip her out of it. This is where he'll probably duck out of a clothesline, Claymore kick out of nowhere, knocking him out. 1, 2, 3. And I think that, for two reasons why Drew McIntyre is going to win right here. One, to collect some momentum to get back into the world title scene. And there's rumors that if Cody does win and retains the WWE Championship, he could possibly be his next challenger. But even though I think kind of the opposite at this time, though, I think that maybe they'll still have him in this feud, or maybe they'll even have him. Maybe even feud with somebody that's in a higher level in the a top baby face, whether if he's on Raw or SmackDown, depending on where he's gonna be on the WWE draft in 2025. But yeah, my final prediction: Drew McIntyre wins the Sin City Street fight. Oh yeah, and second of all, and given that, like, this is Drew McIntyre's revenge against Damian Priest, like, for him, like, cashing in last year, like, exactly a year, like, on Night 2's Mania on the opener. Even though this match not going to be on the opener, it's probably going to be, like, a couple matches before the main event. I think that we could see, Damian Priest would likely would this is the time where he gets revenge, because this is about like him finally beating Damian Priest. Because every time you try to fight Damian Priest, like whether if it's at like Clash at the Castle, win back his world title, even Money in the Bank when he cashed in, he always lose. So that's like a good reason why he should get the W as well. But next up, we got Randy Orton and a mystery opponent, which Randy Orton probably will come out. This will see who his opponent is, which will be a very shocking one, like, because we thought that he's probably going to make his return on, it'll be a returning opponent for Randy Orton, somebody that we haven't probably seen in 5 years in WWE. And also, this is where he'll make it known that he wants to get back in the ring. This is where it will be someone that Big E kind of spoiled, like that's supposed to be making his return. And yep, you guessed it, it'll be none other than the Bulgarian Brute himself, Rusev. This is where he'll come out. This is where he'll have this match. And I know this, he probably won't, this will probably be useless of bringing him out just to be Randy Orton's opponent if he's not going to be the one getting over. Well, I mean, he could, but I just think, like, Randy Orton needs to be over here. He's been lacking of W's in Mania, like if you see his record, of course. But but despite it, I think they're going to have a really good match. They have such good chemistry, like fighting before back in their 2017 rivalry. Like, I think they'll be back to that, but it'll be more likely like if they're fighting for a world championship, even though they're not, like they're just like fighting in just a match, like which must be needed for Randy Orton in this case. But this is where we can see Rusev will be just a penny pinching close away from beating Orton, even trying to hit the Moscow kick, what's got the accolade, maybe even add a new move in his arsenal. But this is where we can see Randy Orton hit the RKO out of nowhere, and they just kind of ditched the punt kick thing, I guess, for at least for now, to probably wait until like when he does turn heel. But I think Randy Orton hit the RKO out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. And your winner, the Viper, Randy Orton. But still, we'll probably see more of the Bulgarian Brute down the road in his return to WWE. I hope that it's something like this. Because I don't think it's going to be something like Aleister Black. I think that's going to be like next week, because they even teased it on the vignette, like on tonight's SmackDown, like where it says 04/25/25. Which that's April 25th, 2025. So that's next Friday. That's basically the date for next Friday's SmackDown. But next up, we're gonna end up the prediction with John Cena take on Cody Rhodes, and this is where we can see, Cody Rhodes will challenge defend his championship. This is where it looks like this is anybody's game. Like, Cody Rhodes retains just to prove that he's the future, and he's far better than John Cena. Like, even if he fought him in his full prime in 2005, he still would beat that version as well. And then this is the story, and this is also a story for Cena, like the winning this capturing the 17th World Championship. So I think this is where we could see anything's going to be happening. This is where we'll see them just hitting each other with moves and moves, like just getting grappling. And then this is where we'll see them try to go for attempts like the attitude adjustment or the crossroads, where they'll be unsuccessful in the first attempts, only to get that guaranteed like later on, like when they start getting into the ring. This is where we can see like a pretty cool spot, like we've seen today, like with Johnson about to hit the attitude, only for Cody Rhodes to hit a crossroads, or maybe even crossroads, like flip over to an attitude adjustment. But either way, both men fall down to the ground. This is where we'll see like possibly The Rock coming out, like give you some mail. And that's where it'll be him and Cody Rhodes staring down to each other, like like this is supposed to be someone like you, but but you ended up like stopping yourself from getting the opportunity of facing me. Like, how about we still could fight right here in this ring? This is where we can see them start fighting, and this is where we can see Cody Rhodes could hit the crossroads, only for the Rock to flip right out of it, hit a rock bottom. I also see Travis Scott being added into the fray. Like, this is where we can see Cody Rhodes finally get to cash some receipts on him, hit him with a big old slap right across his face. Maybe will make his lips start burning, like, and numb up, like, which that's something that's kind of like a receipt that's been cashed in on him, unless if he gets hit right smack around the ear, which I believe Bubba Ray Dudley would prefer him to do it that way, which who could blame the Dudley boy for what's it called, to get the full receipt cashed in. But this is where, despite Cody bringing in some offense to both The Rock and Travis, like this is where this ends up getting way out of hands, and this is where he gets outnumbered until like it's about to be the end of Cody, where we can hear some glass shattering. This is where it will be none other than the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out. You guessed. You heard me correctly. It's the Rattlesnake comes out there, runs up, and then starts stuttering everybody, like The Rock and The Rock and even Travis Scott himself. Like, just they're raising some hell in the ring, only for John Cena to hit a low blow, something that we never thought the 16-time, possibly soon to be 17-time world champion could do. This is where he does that, possibly hit some of the attitude adjustment as well. But this is where Cody Rhodes will come back and get a crossroads. But that would not work. This is where we see. This is where he goes crossroads. This will be a near fall of a 2.9999999 double triple minus 0 point away from being 3. But this is where Cody Rhodes will not give up. This is where he'll probably hit try to go for the triple crossroads. But this is where it will be similar to like when Solo Sikoa spiked him back in 2023 at WrestleMania 39. This is where we see The Rock can do something similar, just attacks him from behind, like whether if it's a chop block or a clothesline or something like that. This is where it could be distracted, but this is where Cody Rhodes ends up being too distracted, let him be the better of him, hit him with a crossroads, finally get some justice on the final boss, and finally give him what he deserves, send him on the outside, only for John Cena to take advantage of Cody's distraction, hits him with the attitude adjustment out of nowhere. But not only that, he just keep hitting attitude adjustment after attitude adjustment, maybe even puts him up over the top rope, pins him, 1, 2, 3, after the Avalanche version of the double A's, and get the 1, 2, 3. Your winner and the new WWE champion, John Cena. He could bring back the Spinners Championship, and end the show with a highly emotional moment, with John Cena finally surpassing Ric Flair's record at a record-breaking 17-time world championship. But that's all. My final prediction: John Cena does win, and that's all my predictions for WrestleMania, both night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania 41. Let me know in the comments below who you predict that's going to be winning, and also hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you like this video, and please check out my stand and deliver review video in the afternoon of Saturday. And also, night 1's WrestleMania review as well. I'm going to be doing that as well, which I'm going to be talking about everybody that's going to be competing, which I know, it's stand and deliver. We got, Javon Evans taking on Trick Williams, taking on the NXT champion, Oba Femi. And we got the Women's North American Championship ladder match. And, what's his name? What's her name? Julia will be. Stephanie Vaquer will be defending her NXT Women's Championship against Julia, Jada Parker, and Jordynne Grace. And on it's night 1 of WrestleMania. We're gonna be seeing Man of Jey Uso. Okay, thank you.
Come on.
But I'm gonna be talking about our stuff.
Follow me.
Okay, Trey. But y'all assassinators have a wonderful rest of your Friday night. I'll see you tomorrow for night 1 WrestleMania Stand and Deliver. And I'll see you next time with some more SNA content. Until me again, Super Ninja Austin, out of here.
Bye. Subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, calm down.
Okay, come on.
Okay.